I'm late to my own stream. Okay, well, not that late. I'm running late to my own stream. How about that? Alright, bitrate is good. Not too windy today, so I think we'll be fine. I think. Oh my god. Go so to the creator dashboard. Alrighty, here we are. Let me get some music going. Let's see. What stuff do I want to play now? I think the Celeste soundtrack would be nice. I like Celeste. Oops. I just got everything like set up. I was editing the stream information like 3 minutes before this all started. And like, what's it called? I have like a mostly eaten like bread here. I have a water bottle that I've had on my desk for a few days. We're gonna be working on the Stardew thumbnail because I feel like I should have like something finished already. I have a lot of like whips right now. Hello. Hello, Elliot. Yeah. Very accurate. I have a lot of whips right now. I am still working on the, that's loud. I am still working on the chibi raffles. It's just, this is like the closest thing that I have, like, sort of finished. And I'm like, let me just see if I can do this today. Have it ready for tomorrow. And if I finish this during stream, I'm gonna immediately go to, like, the blue sky. Or the art raffle stuff, so I think that's the plan. Hello, Butch! I'm either working or it's super late at night, but glad I can watch the stream for a bit. Oh my god, I didn't realize the time zones were that different. Hello, welcome. Yeah, well, I guess to be fair, at least half the regular audience is like out in Germany, Europe, that kind of like region, so I guess it is a big difference, because for me it's like, it's about to be like it's about to be noon, so that's where I'm at. So yeah, we're gonna be working on this stuff today. Try and like get through this, see if I can finish this, put a nice little background. I still have to ask Johnny for his half of the thumbnail. Yeah, I wanted a Stardew stream today, but guess who stayed up late, with Johnny playing our little personal file. Yeah, so we were up late last night, and I'm like, you know what, I'm not gonna... Honestly, it's not that big of a difference. I'm on Central Time, I just need my beauty sleep. Oh, okay, I thought it was like extreme, like, I thought it was like an extreme thing, because I know out in like UK, Europe-ish region, it's like EP time. Usually. And then when I stream on Thursdays, it's usually like morning time for them, so hilarious differences, but what can you do? But yeah, we were up late last night till about like past 3 in the morning just playing the game. So, you know, I didn't want to be like, well, if you're tired tomorrow, don't worry about stream. I'll just do like an art stream if you don't wake up. And if he wakes up and still wants to play for some reason, I'm like, yeah, we could... I'll probably like switch over to that if he wants to. Otherwise, this is just gonna be what it is. It's portfolio day today. I didn't realize that. I think I should have like some sort of reminder, like on the blank of every month, you need to get a portfolio day post lined up and not do it at like 3 in the morning. Like, yeah, that's probably smart. I almost didn't have an art post lined up for today. As much as I hate leaving you, I need to lurk a bit. No, you don't gotta worry about that. like even if no one is talking in chat, it's still nice to just like yap because I know you guys are like kind of listening. Let's see, but yeah, oh my god, I completely lost my train of thought. Laval. Why does this keep happening? But yeah. The creator dashboard up here too, because I think I can see stuff better. We reached 60 followers not too long ago, and apparently that was a follower goal, which is kind of crazy. So I guess our next goal is 70. I know there's a thing above like affiliate, it's like creator. I don't know what the benefits include there. And so long as it means not as many emote slots, I don't care if we reach that next thing particularly. Really, I think we should just have like sub goals, like to put more emotes, because I think it'd be cute, right? Like on one hand, yeah, maybe I could like switch them out, like depending on like what's going on. So like we have like the basic ones, right? But then like let's say I'm playing like Hollow Knight or Borderlands, it'd be fun to have like themed emotes for that, and I just like swap them out from time to time. But I don't know, it kind of sounds like a bit much, and it's probably just easier to have the extra slots. Anyways, all of that aside, let's see. If you want to know how like me and Johnny's like sort of like own file of Stardew have been going, we just unlocked Ginger Island last night, which is really exciting because Johnny has never been there like legitimately. Ad time. No! How do I skip the ads? I wish nothing more than for you guys to be able to use like an ad blocker on my stream, because I don't want you guys to pay me so you can like skip ads. I don't want to like there's just like I don't like it. I feel like on one hand, yeah, I recognize this is like a regular thing, and streamers get paid to like do stuff, and maybe it doesn't seem like a lot to me because like to me this is just like what I normally do, right? But there's not a lot of like rewards right now for just like subscribing, which on one hand it's probably my fault, but I just don't know like what to do if like you guys subscribe, because the only benefit right now is that you don't watch ads, and I'm like, they just shouldn't need to watch ads regardless. I don't want my audience like watching ads. I also want emotes, and that's the only reason why they're there, because I wanted to make silly emotes for stream. So I thought it'd be funny. And I know like a lot of you guys don't mind already, but it's like I just love the fit. The fit. It's I'm still in my pajamas actually. This is just a blanket because it's cold. But yeah, I'm wearing my glasses today too. We got like 5 viewers like just out of nowhere suddenly. Like wow. Hello everyone. Oh, and I have some hilarious like gifting fish to Elliot lore. So okay, ads are over. Perfect. You're just in time for the fish rant. So I usually when me and Johnny play on our own, or I guess any time that we play Stardew Valley, just because there's so much in the game for me to keep track of, it's overwhelming, and I like having the wiki open rather than like figuring it out. Oh, hello, Shunk! Welcome. Oh my god, I'm seeing like so many people. This is great. So many like you're not this isn't a first time chat, but I think I can't exactly remember the last time I saw you in chat, but welcome. Anyways, lore time. Hilariously enough, I thought fish was a universal neutral in Stardew Valley, and I also thought that all the neutral gifts for villagers didn't do anything towards like friendship, right? Because you know, when you hear neutral, it should sound like a net zero, right? Um, like that shouldn't add anything, it shouldn't subtract anything. So I'm looking at the list of like universal like likes, dislikes, etc. Fish is a universal hate, except for Elliot. And I'm like, this is actually so fucking perfect for the run then. I can just keep gifting him fish. Glad you're doing this early, no offense, but you often stream at my 6 a.m. time. Oh, see, because that's the, that's the Thursday streams. So Tuesday streams are at 11:30 to 2:30, so like 3-ish hours, because I have my day off of work, and I can actually, you know, like, stream at a normal time for me. For the 6 a.m. ones, because if I remember from your, Twitter and Blue Sky, you are UK-based, right? So the Thursday streams, which is one of the only other days that I can stream, without, like, losing my mind, too much over, like, my incessant need to have, like, a constant work schedule. I stream at 10 p.m. on Thursdays because I'm home from work, and it's like right when I get home from work, I'm not gonna stream, right? That's like, yeah, I'm several hours ahead of you. I get it. Yeah, exactly. So like, it's not that I'm trying to stream at 6 a.m. nor I would prefer to have it like 11:30 both days, but unfortunately, I have work on Thursdays, and I do like the Tuesday-Thursday schedule quite a bit. I'd stream more, but, social batteries and whatnot, and I kind of have to save that for work, because unfortunately I am customer service. But yeah. What was I saying? Right. Fish is a universal neutral, or universal, dislike, for most characters. Except Elliot, which is so funny to me, because that means, like, one, he's one of the only characters who doesn't, like, dislike receiving fish. Two, neutral actually does boost friendship a little bit, not as much as, like, liked gifts or loved gifts. And three, it's even funnier, because me and Johnny bought the Stardew Valley board game, because we found one on eBay that was, like, not brand new, but it was never used. And one of his, like... Let me see if I can pull up the character card real quick, because I need to show you guys. It's so funny. Let me see if I can find it. Where's the thing? Here we go. And we'll just open the image in a new tab. Just open the image in a new tab, not the. Oh my god, never mind. Display capture? Yes, here we are. So for anyone, I never realized how like intuitive board games are designed. Oh my god, the light mode is shining on my face. I swear this is like set to like auto dark. I'll fix it later. But it's really cool, cause a lot of like the design on the cards and every single little like game piece, it's like they fit together like a puzzle, not like the chin. Yeah, no, it's great. It's so funny. We finally have a Canon 3/4 portrait of Elliot, cause God forbid we see this man not inside profile. But what I think is hilarious, is absolutely hilarious, is that his liked gift in the board game is fish. I'm just like, this is like the perfect romance for me, because all I do in this stupid game is fish. Like, you guys will see it more when we get back to the Stardew streams. I don't know when the next one is happening. Maybe Johnny would be willing to do it Thursday. I'll have to see, because he did take vacation hours off of work today. But it's like, this man loves fish more than literally, like the only person who I think likes fish even more than him in the entire valley is Willy, the fisherman. So I'm just like, this is perfect. all I do is fish in this game, and I can just give whatever excess I want, and it works out. Because again, I didn't realize that neutrals actually give like a little bit of friendship. I thought it was like a whole net zero, which was the funny part about this. Which means this thumbnail, unfortunately, is not lore accurate, because I guess he wouldn't be upset about receiving a fish, but I didn't know. I don't know anything about this game, which is hilarious. Let's see. Yeah. And on top of that, and on top of this too, I am working on a comic. The more I think about it, the more I kind of realize the game played into the bit. It did. Concern date was like, you know, we gave Elliot's like liked gifts, like we made his gifts like very expensive. We should throw the players a bone. Let them romance him with fish. Just like how you can gift Leah driftwood and she likes it. Dude, Leah and Elliot are like such good, like, they're so easy for me because this is literally all I do. All I do is sit there with my little fishing rod and I'm like, oh boy. If I randomly received fish from a stranger, I wouldn't neutrally like it, lol. Yeah. That's fair. I feel like a lot of people would be like mildly like concerned if someone just handed them a fish. And not even like a cooked fish, like just a straight up fish. Still, it does kind of remind me a little bit. I'm Filipino. I've stated that dozens of times on the channel, I think, and online in general. There's a, not just once every day you just get fish from a sick person. It's called making sure your homies are fed, okay? Feeding the homies fish, that is a homie thing to do, I think. But it does remind me, I'm gonna go off on a little bit of a tangent here. I've been to Philippines once in my life. Like, and the experience was, I mean, of course it's different from the States. It's like all the way across the other side of the Pacific Ocean. But it's so, like, interesting there, because everyone is so friendly. Like, the joke about Filipinos, I think, here in the States is that, like, we all, like, congregate together when we realize, like, oh my god, it's another one of you, right? I know because I kind of do it, and my dad kind of does it, and, like, literally every single Filipino I've met kind of does it. Like, we just, we're like, it's very, like, community, together, I think. And it's still, like, strongly that way in the Philippines, because one time my dad took us to see his relatives. We were visiting both sides of the family for this trip, and this one spot that my dad took us to, you could go fishing. And before you assume that a Filipino person just gave us fish, no, we did not get fish, but we kind of did get, like, a random gift. There was a family fishing beside us, and I forget how we started talking to them, and, but we ended up explaining, like, oh no, we're from California, we're just, we're tourists, actually, or we're visiting family, kind of. And they were like, oh, okay, I see. So, we go back to, like, fishing, right? And, they had turned to their thing, pulled out, like, an entire, like, plastic, like, bushel of bananas, or something like that. And they're like, here, you take this. And it's like, oh my god, the people here are so nice, why can't everyone else back home be like this? It's so, like, it's such a welcoming feeling. It's like everyone there really tries to make you feel at home, and I think it's very sweet. Like, I think um we're a very like hospital hospitable community, I think. And it's cute, and I was it was just really nice. I don't want to go back to Philippines. I miss it. The food there was incredible, and if I remember correctly, the bananas were great too. Obviously, this was like years ago. One of my favorite memories from visiting Philippines. There's uh the malls there are also like very different. Um, like there were so many. How nice of them, kind and communal. Exactly. Like everyone back home is so nice, and I'm just like, man, I wish we had that here. If I lived in Philippines, I would have so many friends like in real life. But the malls there are also different. Something that I noticed was how should I say this? Something that I noticed was there's a lot of like there's like so much more to do in the malls in Philippines than there are like here in the States. I don't know what, or I don't know if it's just the area that I live in, but both malls that I used to visit as a child, they're so like they're like all it is just shopping and like the food court, and that's kind of it. And it's so like frustrating because it's like why is this everything? Like there used to be so much more. But the ones in Philippines, like every mall that we visited had like a theater and an arcade. And it wouldn't even just be like one arcade. It would be like multiple of them. It was really cool. And like the restaurants were so much better too because they weren't just like it wasn't just like a food court. It was a food court with like say like the cheap Chinese American like stuff. It was like actual like yeah, it was also a place for spending time. It was like really really nice. They had like cafes, they had like actual genuine like restaurants. Like there was a literal dim sum place there. Of course they have like Jollibee because Jollibee is our number one Lord and Savior. He's my number one Lord and Savior. It's just so much nicer there, and it's like, man, if only, there's a number of reasons why I don't think I actually want to live there, and that's because I cannot stand humidity. I've lived in California basically my entire life. I like dry heat. Like, I understand humidity is colder, but the absolute, like, the mugginess of humidity, I don't think I could do it. And Philippines, being along the equator, being that little tropical region that it is, I think I would die. I think I would die if I just didn't have, like, an AC pointed at me at all times. Another reason, really big mosquitoes there. And because of course it is. That's shadows on Elliot Dunn. Let's start doing the shadows here. But yeah, really big mosquitoes is another reason. And then, like, I think the last thing would probably be, like, there's not a lot of money to be made in the Philippines, unfortunately. Like, whatever I'm making here is probably, like, it'd be a lot over there, but if I were to, let's say, do the same job of, like, fast food and everything in Philippines, it would not be fun. Like, I don't think I would make enough to live there on my own, and, yeah. I really do mean it when I say, like, dry heat is better. It's just, because at least for me, that means I can stand in the shade, and, it means I can stand in the shade, and I can cool down. When it's humidity, it is, like, the air that is thick and hot, not the sun. And it sucks so bad because we've had humid days here in California, and I experienced it when my family decided to take a vacation out in the East Coast. We were in like Washington or DC. I should talk a little bit about that trip too. It had rained when we went to DC for like a little bit, and it's already like it's summer, it's hot, it's like big ouchies, and then it was even worse. After it rained, because only rained for a little bit, but it was enough to like make the atmosphere so like thick. And the worst part, I was wearing skinny jeans too, so the entire time it's like sticking to me, it's itchy, and I'm sweaty, and I'm just like, I want to go home. I want to go back to the hotel so I can change my pants and lie down in the AC. I don't wear a lot of shorts, to be honest, so it's like low-key my fault, but you know. The craziest thing that I think when we went to DC, and I know it makes sense. I know it makes a lot of sense for it to be like, for it to have been like that. But you know, DC is the capital, you see the White House and everything. Protesters, yeah, that's a given. I think there's always gonna be protesters there. What was crazy to me, though, was the armed snipers standing at the top of the roof. And I was just like, oh my god. I know, it makes sense. Like, of course there's snipers at the top of the roof. But, like, seeing it is, like, so different, though. Because, like, you'll see, like, images, like, on Google of the actual place. And then you go there, and they're just strapped. Like, when it rains, cools everything out. Doesn't always happen with high humidity, at least from my experience. Yeah, I think rain does cool everything down, but it's, like, it's when it stops raining, I think. And it's still hot, like a summer rain. And then it stops raining, like, that is not a fun experience. I don't like humidity at all. Like I said, I like dry heat. Like, yeah, it's hotter. Yeah, it, like, sucks. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get, like, sunburnt to hell and back because, I don't go outside that much. But, like, from what I've seen, rain in the summer and then it stops is not funny. It's very painful. It's happened a few times here. One time, during marching band back in high school, this was maybe, like, the only time I, like, low-key, like, celebrated, like, summer rain. We were out in marching band practice. Marching band practice takes place over summer break. It's, like, the last 2 weeks of summer break, and it's just kind of, like, a way for the marching band to do, like, extra practice and everything. Right? Because, you know, we have competitions ahead of the year, and we only, like, do our, rehearsals like twice a week because it's still an elective. It's not like an actual like class that you attend during the actual school hours. It's actually why summer is unbearable in the UK. The stupid humidity makes it worse alongside the lack of AC in the houses. Oh, big McOuchies. Yeah, that sucks. I feel you with the lack of AC. Every summer here, our AC downstairs works. It's fine. The AC upstairs does not. I have a huge AC unit that I'm thankful for, but I still hate it because it's really loud and I can't sleep with it. I don't know why. Like, I can hear the rock tumbler and sleep with it just fine, but the stupid, like, AC unit, it's just way too loud for me. Anyways, the marching band thing. We were out on the field, so we were doing, like, a field show rehearsal, right? Field show is when you get, like, the football team, and it's, like, halftime, and the marching band goes out, and they walk around and play songs and make funny shapes. It was, like, really hot that day, and it was, like, the last day of band camp. Like, it was a Friday, so the weekend we had off, and, I was just, like, excited to go home, I think. I was really tired. And then, like, it was overcast, and I wasn't expecting it to rain, because, you know, California, drought season, haha. It started drizzling, which means we had to cancel rehearsal just a little bit early, because, you don't want to get your instruments, wet, necessarily. Like, a lot of them, like, the woodwinds, for example, the pads on, like, the flutes. Some brass instruments, I think, can take it, but, like, you know, not a lot. And, like, you have to clean it a very specific way. So we ended early, and everyone was just like, yippee! No AC here, too. Summer is a terrible time to exist. Summer? Okay. Quick question for chat. What is you guys' like, favorite summer? Like, what are y'all's favorite... favorite summer. Favorite season? because I have some strong opinions about the seasons. I'm like curious to know. I want to see like I want to see where we all stand. So I'm gonna say it right now. My favorite season is autumn for sure. I love autumn. I think it's like the perfect temperature when summer doesn't like overstay its welcome. I think it's like it's got the best aesthetic. It's got autumn and fall all the way, nice and cool leaves, gorgeous. Look at the variety of colors. Exactly. Shunky, you get it. You understand me. But yeah, autumn, best season, best weather, best colors, best aesthetic. It's like, you cannot beat that. Which is now going to lead me into my horrendous rant into the other 3 seasons, because oh boy, I have some words. I'm not a huge fan of spring, and it's not because of allergies, like, spring, here in California means, at least in my city, means a few things. A lot of insects are coming out, which, not that I hate insects, but I have arachnophobia, so if I see anything that, like, vaguely looks like a spider out of the corner of my eyes, I have a little mini heart attack. That's kind of all it is. Like, I have no problem with insects, I just get, like, jump scared by them pretty easily is the thing. So that's what that is. And then, this is by far the worst part, and I think had solidified, like, a very, like, strong, like, disdain for, spring in my heart. Rather than planting, like, okay, I get it. These flowers look beautiful, right? They're like these little white flowers that grow on the trees and they bloom around like February to March, and they're here for a little while and it's very pretty, yada yada yada. Flowers are nice. I love flowers. These flowers, however, smell like sperm or bleach. And it's disgusting, and they're everywhere. They filled like the entire, like, it's not a courtyard, I forget what we called it in high school. It's the, I don't know, it was just a big, like, center area. The whole high school was built like a circle, so there was just, like, this huge, like, area on the inside. It was just filled with these trees, and the PE track had them, and it smelled so bad. And you would sit out there for lunch, too, because we didn't really have, like, an indoor lunch area unless it rained. So we're all sitting there. The trees are filling the air with their stupid, the flowers specifically, not the trees. The flowers are filling the air with this awful, awful odor. And you're just there like, why? Why did you choose these trees? They smell terrible. Like, to some people, I know it smells like sperm, because it's literally called a sperm tree. But to me, it smelled like bleach, which is also not fun. Like, it's very, like, strong, it's very, like, overwhelming, and it's, like, you walk by them when you go to class, and then you sit out there with them when you eat lunch. It was horrible. And then, it gets even better, because they're also here in my neighborhood, and I'm like, can you guys replace the trees? Like, they look nice, I get it, but the smell is awful. And then when I graduated college, or from high school, I was like, thank God I don't have to deal with, like, those anymore. And then they're still at my college, and I'm like, why are these everywhere? These things suck. Like, they could have chosen literally anything else and it would have been nicer. We have, like, we have a jacaranda tree outside on our front yard. And that one doesn't have an odor to it. But, like, these little, like, white flowers do, and they come around every spring, and I'm just like, I hate it so much. I think you guys can guess my opinion on summer, too, based off of, like, my various complaints about the heat. Summer is by far my least favorite season. Oh my god. What the auto mod? Automod, we're allowed to say sperm in chat. We're all adults here, I think. School is already terrible, but if I had to smell bleach or sperm every day, I would go insane. Exactly. And again, they're like everywhere. They were everywhere on the school campus. So like you'd be walking by for class and it just hit you in the face. Like it was bad. It's like really bad. And like the worst part about it is that not everyone can smell them too. So I'll complain about it to my dad. And he's like, Kyra, I walked up to one of those trees on the neighbor's front lawn and I stuck my face in the flowers and it smelled like, I don't know, peaches and cream to me. And I'm like, Dad, I'm going to kill you. They smell awful. And I'm glad we don't have them by the Carl's Jr. that I work, because if we did, I think it would have quit on the spot. Just like, nope, you guys cannot. You guys either make me a cook so I never had to set foot outside of this goddamn store to take out a parked car. Does he hate peaches? No, he likes peaches. The point being, I think only some people can smell it. And he can't, but I can, and I'm upset about it. And it is interesting how like that works though. Well, I never finished my season rant. It's okay. Um, there's like certain like smells and tastes that people like genetically like they can't taste it. They can't smell it, and it kind of has to do with genetics from what I remember in like my 9th grade bio class. There's like this one type of chemical, and there was like these strips that you could put on your tongue, and if you could taste it, you had that gene, that, or you could taste it. If you couldn't taste it, then you just didn't have the gene for it. I think if I remember correctly, the dominant is being able to taste it, and I remember it was very much like, it was like putting a bar of soap in my mouth. It was very like bitter. My 9th grade bio teacher, however, she couldn't taste it at all, so she was asking the class like, what does it taste like? And everyone was just like, it's very bitter, it tastes like soap, it's kind of like putting dishwasher in your mouth. Like, it wasn't great. But I do think it's interesting that, like, for some things it does do that. I don't know if sperm trees are like that, but considering the fact that my dad can't smell how bad they smell, I imagine it must be. That, or the flowers at the high school, for whatever reason, are just that much stronger. And to be fair, there's, like, a lot of them. Like, to illustrate the campus real quick. So, like, it's a building up here, a building over here. It's called the quad. We have our bell tower over here. We have our quad, and then, so you can see it's like, it's really like a circle, right? Like this was the basic layout of our school. And along like the quad area, there were 6 planters with these trees. And that's how bad it was. So yeah, not funny, didn't laugh. Whoever planted those trees there, I just want to talk. It's a shame too, because they are like really pretty flowers. I've been complaining about like the way a flower smells for the past, I don't know how long. But yeah. Summer, I hate summer. Mostly because the heat here is unbearable. We get really bad heat waves every year. Our AC doesn't work. And there's blackouts because everyone else who has their AC working just cranks their AC all day. And I'm just like, guys, I'm dying. We had a blackout last year too. And the frustrating part about it, however, was it was only like my half of the city. Like we drove like a few minutes like in this general direction. Actually, this general direction, towards like that side of town, and all the lights were on, And me, my dad, and my brothers were just there like, what the fuck? Like, why? Why does this city hate us? And then winter, like, I have no strong feelings about winter. Not a big fan of the aesthetic here. I feel like if it snowed, like, in my city, I'd like it a lot more, but it doesn't. So it's just kind of like, the trees are bare, and, it's very cold, and that's kind of it. Except sometimes it isn't cold, and then sometimes it is cold, and you're just sitting there, like, why is this just, like, diet summer, essentially? And it snows in the mountains, I know that, when it rains, but we actually didn't get, like, any rain this year. Winter for us is usually rainy season. I remember, let's say 2023 to avoid, like, a little bit of confusion. 2023, we had, like, a lot of rain, and then, like, also the year before that as well. It was kind of crazy. Our front yard and backyard was flooding a little bit, and we had to get, like a little engine pump to, get the water out of there. It was very funny. But yeah, not a lot this year, which is unfortunate, because, I want to take Butters to see snow, you know? I don't think Jimmy has seen snow in his life either, so I think it'd be very funny if we just took our little bubbies up there, and, they went to go see the snow on the mountains. But it didn't rain, like, at all for this season, and it's just like, man. I haven't seen the snow in a while. I obviously remember it being, like, very cold, but I think the other thing that I, like, didn't remember too well when I last went was, it was very wet. Which I don't know why that surprised me, but it did. This is just kind of the side effect of, I don't see snow ever. Which is unfortunate. I haven't saved the canvas in a while, let me do that. Yeah, I think if it snowed, like, actually down here, I'd enjoy winter a little bit more, but it doesn't, so... Fall's the best season. That's the biggest takeaway from this tangent that has lasted, I don't know, like 30 minutes. Also, my birthday's in fall, so I feel like it's only fair. I remember this last fall. It was really funny, kind of. It wasn't funny in the moment. When we had that blackout, that wasn't actually during, like, exactly during summer. It was actually kind of, like, more towards fall, if I remember correctly. Because the summer, this, last year, actually wasn't terrible. It was like, oh, this is bearable, like, 90s, 80s. Like, that's, like, you know, ideal summer weather to me, right? Not, like, 100-something. Towards, like, the tail end of summer and, like the beginning of fall, for some reason, there was just this massive heat wave for, like, a week, and it was awful. And I just remember being, like, so upset, like, please. We could have had a summer where I wasn't, like, dying on the floor. Like, why? I was just, like, upset. The heat waves are, like, the worst here. And then it gets even funnier when it's, like, unbearable out inside the house, and you go to take the dogs out, and then all of a sudden, for some reason, at night, outside, it's so much cooler than inside, and it's just like, what the hell? We got a bit of snow this time. All pretty, it ended up being a huge detriment to the town. It all froze over, which disrupted the public transport, and my house felt colder than outside. If I recall correctly, the temperature fell as low as 8 degrees Celsius, oh gee, -8, which is not normal here. Thankfully, it started raining yesterday, and the temperature went up, so the snow's gone now, thank goodness. Yeah, that's the one thing about snow, huh? Yeah, if it snowed here in Eastvale, I think we'd be doomed. Yeah, I always forget about how much it, like, clogs up the streets, because, you know, I just don't, I don't live it to see it. My cousins, or my aunt and my cousins, one of them, they used to live up in, Michigan. They would always complain, I think, about how, like, the snow would block their driveway, and I'm just like, yeah, at least we don't have that here. But I would be very happy if I could have, like, like, very aesthetically pleasing to the eye winters. But we don't. We're a little desert community here. I wish I didn't live in the desert, though. I hate it. People always talk about how, like, California has the best weather. Like, oh, it's got, like, the nicest weather, like, year-round, and, like, it's the ideal place to live, and we're gonna make the cost of living, like, $1 million. So people, like, so, like, only the richest of the rich can live here? Which I guess a little bit of an exaggeration, but it still is, like, expensive as balls to live here. And, like, but I think my least favorite thing is, like, the California has the best weather claim. Because I'm marginally sure they have to be talking about Northern California at this point. Because, like, again, I live in, well, okay, I don't live exactly in the desert. But we're pretty damn close to the desert. Like, this is a valley. Specifically where I am. So it's like, it's just warm, like unpleasantly warm, and like Northern California has to be like what they're talking about, right? I've never been to NorCal before, I'm just like it's got to be them. It's like it has to be them that they're talking about, because there's no way they're talking about SoCal. I'm not sure. Speaking of, like, you should know, like, it's like the weather can't be that great when the state literally catches on fire every goddamn year. I feel bad for not... I feel kind of bad, low-key, that I didn't know about, like, how bad the fire situation was until, like... until I actually, like, looked at it, because... wildfires happen so much in California. Kind of because that's, like, a regular thing for it to do. What layer is this? Guys, are you seeing this? Do you guys see, like, this bit of discolor here? I'm trying to figure out what... That's actually just on the color layer. That's so weird. How did that happen? Hang on. What? What? Are you guys seeing this? There's a small spot on the color layer where it's... Excuse me? Did I just... This entire part was just the wrong color for some reason. Man. Okay. We fixed it. We don't gotta worry about it anymore. There was just like a weird little bit of like discolor here on like the shirt collar. But it looked so much like this, I was just like, did I accidentally like paint over it? And I'm trying to like erase it on my rendering layer. And then it's not going, and I'm like, is it left over from Elliot's? And I take away his whole layer folder, it's not there. How did that happen? I used the fill bucket to color. There's no way that should have happened. Whatever. It's fixed. I shouldn't worry about it. That completely derailed me. Oh my god. Let's see. I wonder if Johnny is awake now. Look at me checking my phone in the class. Just regular notification. Yeah, I thought you did the same thing doing the shading. That was odd. That was odd, right? Like, I know I shouldn't be making a big deal out of it because, again, it's fixed. But it's like, I used the fill bucket to color in everything. How did that one bit of, like, miscolor make it in there? I'm gonna have to, like, rewatch a VOD or something. I've completely lost my train of thought. I forgot what I was talking about before. My word. Oh yeah, wildfires. Yeah, Johnny actually was a bio major for a little bit. So me and him are aware that it is kind of a natural thing for California to just catch on fire. Because this is the type of, like, biome that it is. It catches on fire so that it can, so that the soil is ready for, like, the next set of plants. It's kind of like, getting rid of old stock and making, like, space ready for, like, new one, kind of. Except the problem right now with California is that it catches on fire, like, way too much, which is, unfortunate. But it's whatever. People are convinced that it's not supposed to catch on fire. It's supposed to, just not as frequently as it is right now. Which leads me into, like, I think probably the funniest thing I've ever seen living in the city. I have no idea if this is like a restaurant chain now, but and I don't mean this in like a you can't say that about California because it goes against like my culture as a it's offensive to my culture as a Californian. I don't mean it like that. But there is like a restaurant in my city called Bushfire Kitchen, and it's like a California grill or something. They put something to the effect of like California Grill, California Kitchen. And the place again is called Bushfire, which I don't know about you guys, but calling like a restaurant in California like a Californian kitchen, Bushfire Kitchen, feels like the equivalent of like opening a water park in Florida somewhere. Maybe not a water park. It's like... Let me see if I can find like a restaurant equivalent to like put this to. I guess the water park makes like the most sense, but I feel like water parks are kind of already named this. It's like opening a water park in Florida or somewhere else where they get a lot of hurricanes, and then naming it like hurricane excitement or whatever. I don't know. I'm terrible at naming things. It's like that. It feels like that to me, which it's not necessarily like insensitive, like I guess, but it is certainly a choice to name like a thing that does a lot of serious damage to the state that you were living in. It's like, oh, let me just capitalize off of like this like little yearly disaster that happens. Like, huh? Just made this up, but it wouldn't be stupid to opening a restaurant called Hurricane Hamburgers. No, exactly. It's like, okay, like you see what I'm saying though? It's like you are naming a restaurant after like disasters that kind of take place on a yearly basis in the state. It's like it's kind of insane, I think. I don't know if insensitive is the right word, because I'm not, or like culturally insensitive is the right word, because I wouldn't say it's like necessarily that, but it definitely feels like some flavor of like insensitive, like, oh, this happens a lot in this area, so I'm gonna like tactless is a good word. Yeah, there we go. That's it. I think that's what I'm looking for. Like, again, freedom of speech is a wonderful thing. It's just sometimes I think some people gotta like think a little bit more. Reading the room would have helped. I'm like bushfire kitchen in California. Like, are these people? Like, are you hearing yourself? Like, the unlurks. Welcome back, Kira. But like, are you like bushfire kit? Especially in the middle of like the Palisades or Palisades fires, like right now, like because every fire that I've heard about in California, from what I remember, has been like disastrous. And like this one is by far like I think the worst I've heard about. And to Bushfire Kitchen's defense, they didn't name the thing, or they didn't shortly like open like around the time of the it's been here like a little while already. But it's like even without like the current events happening here in California, that's still a crazy thing to name your kitchen. That's like where do tornadoes happen? Ohio? That's like opening like a tornado tacos in Ohio. Like I'm not sure this is a great. I don't know if this is what we want to be like proud of, because I wouldn't be. I am curious though. Is it like a restaurant chain, or is it just here in Eastville? I just doxed my city. Oh well. Yeah, no, it's just a bushfire. There's so many bushfire things. Oh my god, guys! I don't think we should be naming our restaurants after yearly disasters. Casually doxes myself, yeah. Oh well, what are you guys gonna do? Fly it to California? I'm not sure that's a good idea like right now. It's okay. I'm pretty sure if you put my city name like into Google or something, you'll probably get something else and it'll just be very confusing. Our city used to be part of another city until we decided to write until we decided like, no, you know what, we want to be our own city. And then the city is just kind of like, it's kind of like a hair extension, right? Like or it's kind of like if I cut my hair and then made like that cut part an extension and then put it back onto my hair. Like yes, we are technically separate from that other city we used to be a part of. But half the time we don't feel like a real city because there's quite literally nothing to do here. I was talking about this to Johnny a few nights ago. It is ridiculous in my city. Like, it's the suburbs, so driving is already like awful. Because everything is like built to extend your commute. But the worst part is like, to make matters even worse, there's literally nothing to do in my city. Like, if you want entertainment spots, we have the movie theater and the Target. I see you also live in the middle of nowhere when it comes to things to do. Okay, I recognize that commuter cities are like, no, it's not even like cheap to live here. Everything fucking, because like everything's getting like gentrified, which means like the cost of everything is like going up anyways. And like, the middle commuter cities are just awful because it's like you live there, there's nothing to do, and if you want to do anything remotely like entertaining that doesn't involve like shopping, you have to drive like an hour out. And I know, I don't know how it is in like Europe and other places like over there across the pond, but I am sort of familiar that like everything's a lot closer there. So like if I had like an hour commute for me, well, that's the normal thing of that's like a long drive for me, and probably an even longer drive in some areas over there. I would imagine like 20 minutes is maybe like more so when you start calling it a long drive. I don't know. I've never been there, but that is like not those numbers exactly, but I have heard that when people from over there come to the States, it's kind of like shocking how big it is here because everything is built so much further apart. Like it's not really like a walking like friendly or pedestrian friendly, I should say, like place to live. Well, the U.S. is massive, so everything is a bit more clustered by comparison. Yeah, that I think that's what I'm trying to describe. So like the crazy thing to me is like closest town to me is just 20 minutes by car or bus. Yeah. Um but that yeah, and then closest city to me is like a 5-minute drive, but that to be fair, it's because I live on like the border of like I live on my city line essentially. So that's kind of why it's close. But next furthest city I think would be like let me put it this way. The area that I live in, the entire area, so that's gonna include like surrounding and bordering cities. It's very it's a commuter location. You don't really go here for like entertainment or anything. You go here because it's probably cheap and it's like the bare minimum to like sort of like live like okay, I don't need like all the entertainment, I don't need all the malls, I don't live like yada yada yada. So you live in like a commuter, right? Where if I want to go to a city with like actual like things to do, I have to drive like 40 minutes to an hour. It's insane that like the commute is so long to just like do something that's like to like go somewhere that's like not Target. Like if I want to go to a mall, 20-minute, the closest mall is like 40 minutes away, which is it's stupid here is what I'm trying to say. I live in a small city, but the state capital is only 40 minutes by train. Public transport gets you far here. Yeah, that's the other thing too. We don't have a lot of public transport. Cities, like, I think New York City can get away with it because they're very, like, urban. But the best public transport we have here is a train with maybe, like, 5 train stops and a bus with also, like, 5 bus stops. My commute from my house to my college is about 40 minutes. I remember we usually left like 40 minutes, 40 to 50 minutes before my class would start. My mom has to make like a similar drive to her work every single day because my campus and her hospital are kind of like in the same city. So like 40 minutes to go to school every day, 40 minutes to go to work every day. I think that's insane. And you have to drive there. There's no train, there's no bus from like my city to that other city. So that's gas money, and that's just you're just going to be taking the freeway. And it was a lot. Like there was a reason why I never ended up doing like a lot of like any more like extracurriculars when I went to a college, because 1, I don't think people really cared that much anymore. 2, yeah, let me not actually like have my dad drive me out every single day of the week, because that is insanity. And it's not like our cars are like super like modern too, so like the gas efficiency on them is like the gas mileage is not great. Yeah, like, could I have probably, like, it's so brutal here, because the best part, too, is, like, oh, well, some students, like, live on campus, some students, like, they rent an apartment close to the thing. Yeah, if your students can afford, like, $1 million a month, essentially, or, it's so stupid. The living situation here is in shambles. I don't know why we're still here. Maybe I should move to Philippines just to be like, Dad, Pack it up, we're leaving. This place sucks. We're gonna go to Philippines. I'm in a small town on the county, not country before. You ask about the spelling? Okay, so county for sure then. County border, so I'm basically pretty far out into the countryside. Closest city to me takes like 45 minutes by transport, depending on which one you go to. Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Don't you guys just love being in the middle of nowhere, having absolutely nothing to do? See, this is why streaming is great, because you just sit here and it's like, alright, fellas, let's be bored together. Because that's what it is. San Diego has, like, a lot of things. LA, I think, has a lot of things. Pomona has, like, a few things. My city does not. My city, the best thing it has is a Target, the 99 Ranch, Cravings food court, and a movie theater. It's not even like there's any good movies out right now. It's so bad. I want to get out of here. I want to move out of this city, like, really badly, because it's like, just put me anywhere else on the map, please. But at the same time, it's like, not like I can afford to move out right now, and it's also just, like, not like a... I feel like if I tried moving, like, somewhere else, too, I'm a little worried the neighborhood won't be good, because I guess to Eastville's credit... There I go, doxing the city name again. It's okay. I trust you guys. Credit where credit is due. This is a pretty safe neighborhood. Beck all to do, but at least where I am is beautiful. So many hills and with... I'm jealous. When the weather warms up, I'm planning to explore the landmarks again. That's... I'm just so jealous. You don't get... okay, you do get that kind of, like... You do get that kind of, like, scenery in the States, just not specifically here. I think, like, Midwest, like, sort of like Appalachia, absolutely beautiful greenery there. I wish I lived there, and I wish I wasn't so scared to live there, too. And again, I'm so sorry! No! I need to pay attention to, like, those ad rolls so I can snooze them. I'm sorry, guys, I don't know how to take the ads out of my thing. I wish I could. I really do. I don't like you guys watching ads. I think it's very, very unfortunate. And it's like a while too. I forget. I think the ad break should only be like a few minutes, but like I feel like sometimes they're like a little longer, right? Let's see. Monetization, ads. Welcome to the new ads manager. No thanks. How many videos of ads do you want to... Oh, I only want it 2 minutes. Run a 2-minute ad break every 60 minutes. Okay, well 2 minutes isn't terrible. And I think that way it is a relatively good balance, but still, I don't want you guys watching ads. I feel so bad whenever that happens. I don't want to ask you guys to, like, sub either. I feel like my content is just kind of like, I'm just kind of like vibing here. We're all just chilling in one room together. Me and the 4 other people watching me draw and talk about how much it sucks to live in my city. But, yeah, credit where credit is due. It is a safe neighborhood for the most part. Have I heard my fair share of gunshots and everything? Yes, but I feel like, I feel like the other neighboring cities have arguably had way worse. Worst crimes that have happened here in the city? It is a nice vibe, yeah. We're here for good vibes and good vibes only, even though I've been sitting here complaining for like the last hour, Lamau. Oh well, I imagine the complaining is like a little funny. But, I think the worst crimes that have ever happened in my area. I do want to sub, but my Twitch Prime expired. May have to wait a little while. All good, Chunky. You don't gotta worry about it. I'm not too concerned about subs. But, let's see. I don't think, the worst crime to happen here was a bank robbery, which, yeah, maybe that sounds bad on the surface, but I'm pretty sure they went there at night and just broke an ATM machine. Like, I'm pretty sure that was all it is. Besides that, I know on at least 2 instances in my neighborhood, people have set cars on fire. So, I have, like, this first one, I just remember, I used to take, like, walks by the park almost every day playing Pokemon Go, because it's, like, there's, like, a million Pokestops there, and I'm like, what am I gonna do, not take advantage of that? So, I very explicitly remember, that there was just, like, this one time where I walked by the house, the front of the house was just, like, charred. It was, like an explosion had happened, and, like, the car was damaged, and I'm pretty sure, whoever did that, I'm gonna have to ask my dad later about it, but, like, someone had, like, set their truck on fire, or their car, or whatever it was, and it just, like, destroyed, like, or, not destroyed, but it did char, like, the front of the house. The second time, I was there to see the fire, because it was literally, like, next door, which was the crazy part. So, like, we're out, so just outside my room, there's, like, this, loft area. It's got a couch, and it's, like, a nice little, like, hangout spot. You know, it's a big room. 3 people can easily fit there. More than 3 people can easily fit there. So me and my brothers are hanging out, and we're hearing, like, this sort of, like, pop outside. Like, a crack and then a pop. And we're like, what the hell is that? We look outside the window. The next door neighbor's truck is on fire. Like, it is just burning, and we're just looking at it like, what do we do? I hope that doesn't get on the grass. It was bad. I'm gonna have to ask my dad what exactly happened, because I think he knows. Another crime that happened, this time to me, and I think this one's just, like, a relatively common one. Though, not like it's specific or significant in any way, shape, or form. So this was, like, 2 weeks after I had just gotten my driver's license. I've always had, like, a car that was going to be, like, my car. It's my 2005 Honda Accord, the most reliable goddamned car on the planet. Okay, we can actually get to the highlights now, so real quick I'm just gonna make the background color a little dark. So I have a Honda Accord, 2005, 2003, somewhere in that early 2000s range. Really good car, and the thing about those cars is that the catalytic converters on them, I think, use platinum. I think that's the metal that they use for the reaction. And, so one night I'm, like, vibing in my chair, and this was during summer, so I did have my window open to just kind of, like, let a draft in, because otherwise it makes it slightly less miserable, we'll put it that way. And I hear, like, stuff outside, and it's kind of late, but I do kind of recognize, like, oh, well, my dad works at night in the summer because, you know, he's a mechanic, it's less hot, of course he's gonna do work at night. And I go to bed. I wake up the next day, there's a wire, like, poking out from under my car, and I'm supposed to take Johnny to work, I think, because at this point, I wasn't working at Carl's Jr. yet, I had my license, I could drive Johnny to work, and my dad, was just, like, I think asleep or something, and so Johnny came to me. What ended up happening was, I turned the ignition, right? And the engine, it is louder than I had ever heard it before. Like, it's a Honda Accord. it's not supposed to sound like a muscle car, and in that instance, it sounded like a muscle car that was about to explode. So I like turn it off immediately, and I'm like, something is wrong. I try it again to see if it was just like a fluke. It does the exact same thing. I turn it off, and I go to my dad. My dad checks it out, and he's like, Kyra, someone stole your catalytic converter last night. And I was just like, God freaking damn it. I don't know if you can drive a car without a catalytic, but I think my car, I couldn't. So, my dad ended up taking Johnny to work, went to complain about it to some friends over Discord, went back to sleep. So, I had my driver's license, but for like 2 months, I didn't have a car because some asshole stole my catalytic. And it was to the point where I was making like jokes with my friend, like I'm gonna be like perched up in my room with a sniper rifle, I'm gonna like find that person, or like another thing that I would joke about, like, oh, I'm gonna put like a bear trap under the car so that way, when they try to go under there to saw it out, they get their everything like clamped instead. Unfortunately, booby trapping is like illegal, which I think is stupid. Like, I get it. I am booby trapping with the intent of harming someone, but really, should they even be committing that crime in the I wouldn't have to booby trap if they weren't out there committing crimes. That's my argument there. Like, yes, I do want to make this person suffer for taking my catalytic away, because those things are an expense. No, it is like an odd thing to steal, but you have to remember the metal they use in there is platinum. That is like expensive metal that you can like pawn off. So it makes sense that they would steal it. And it happens, again, my car just happens to be like one of like the main like targets for those catalytics. And it's just like, man. And then it got even better because when we did finally get like a replacement for it, it's like an off-brand replacement, I think. It got even better because for 2 months the car wasn't running, so the battery just died. So it was like, man, I still can't drive my car. And then, shortly after I started driving the car again, I think somehow a nail got stuck into the tire. So we had to change the tires. And then this was like a really like scary instance out on the freeway. So I'm driving to work. It's like one of my first days back behind the wheel since getting my car back. And actually I want to do the skin first. And we're on the freeway, right? And then all of a sudden, on its own, the steering wheel just kind of like that. Like I'm exaggerating it with my hands, but it did like jitter a little bit. And I look at my dad and I'm like, is it windy today? I'm like looking outside. There's no breeze. It happens again. And we pull over to the side because both of us are thinking the same thing. Is my front tire about to fly off? It wasn't. But my dad drove the rest of the way. And I'm just sitting there like in fear. Like, am I about to like end up on the... are me and dad about to end up like on the news for this? Because I think that's like one of the worst things that can happen to you, just like while driving, like your tire flying off. And I did ask my dad, like, Dad, what do you do in that situation where your tire flies off? And according to him, the answer is pray. Because if the tire flies off, there's just so much that's out of your control now that you just kind of like live with it and hope that you'll be able to live after it, I guess. That was his answer. I don't know if there's like anything else that could be done. So I was just like, man. We did figure out like a reasonable answer for what kind of deity did you annoy that cursed you in my car. See, I don't know, but I think the curse is over now, and I'll get to that in a moment. Because we did figure out, my dad did think it through. This was after we had changed the tire, and we came to the conclusion that the tire was probably like kind of the wrong size, because it never did actually like fly off the axle, and or the rims or whatever, and what we were thinking was maybe just like on that particular like part of the freeway, um, it's a little bit more rough, and because the tire isn't the exact size for the car, you can just like feel it more, and I think that was probably it. The car on Gertrude, her name is Gertrude, by the way. My Honda Accord's name is Gertrude. Gertrude, now, for some reason, has the thickest plot armor I think I have ever seen. Now, I've never been, or I've been in, like, one accident, but it wasn't okay, 2 accidents, but neither of them were my fault. The first time this happened, it was actually Johnny. This was before Johnny had gotten his license, and before he had gotten his license, he was, like, really, like, anxious about driving. He didn't drive all that much, so this one time that he tried, like, backing one of our cars off the driveway, he backed into Gertrude. Now, the funniest thing about this, Gertrude, completely unscathed, like, not a damn dent in her, exterior. The car that Johnny was, driving, though, like, that rear bumper, like, just like that, like, caved in, like, on that, like, one spot. It was hilarious. My dad was upset, and he was like, "You hit Kyra's car." I'm like, "There's no damage to my car, like, whatsoever." So that was funny. The second time something similar had happened, where another car hit Gertrude, was, I think this was back in 2022 or 2023. It was one of the two. You mess with Gertrude, you get the bumper. No, unironically. So we're driving to Taco Bell, for lunch, and, we're in the parking lot, and I'm going around the parking lot, being, like, really slow and careful, trying to watch out for cars that are, like, backing up, right? We passed this one car, and they didn't see me. I'm guessing it's because my car was probably, like, being covered by one of the rear pillars, and, it's so sad. I'm going over a speed bump, and there's just, like, this loud, like, crash that I hear, and I'm, "Clive, did I run over something?" And he's, like, looking out the window, like, "No, someone actually hit you." And I'm like, "Excuse me?" So I parked right away, like, as soon as I can, like, outside the Taco Bell. The car that had hit me followed me. And I'm, like, looking at Gertrude, like, I don't see any damage. I look over at the other car that followed us. Her car had, like, the deepest scratch in its paint. And my car is fine. And I recognize, like, yeah, you're kind of supposed to get, like, the person's insurance and everything, but the driver, high-key, I don't think spoke English. And also, it was her car that got damaged, not mine. So I was just like... oh well. I know, when those accidents happen, you're not necessarily supposed to say you're sorry, because then you're admitting fault. And then they can actually, like, use that against you, so I didn't say that to her. But it was really funny that she bumped into my car, and then her car was the one that ended up getting, like, the really deep scratches, and mine was, like, barely, like, touched at all. Gertrude is a damn trooper. Nothing phases her anymore. No, literally! I don't get it. Like, tell me how 2 cars have, like, hit her already, and not a damn scratch on her paint. Tell me how, like, she hasn't had any problems outside of just, like, regular maintenance in, like, so long. And I'm just like, this car, I'm taking this car to my grave. She is going to last forever. I know realistically she won't last forever. If Honda ever comes out with, like, an electric version of the Accord, or if I can find a way to convert, Gertrude to an electric car, I will absolutely do it because I do recognize that there is an EV mandate, and while electric cars really aren't the best for the environment, it's really not the answer. Me and Clive talk about this quite a bit actually, because we're both kind of passionate about this. The EV mandate realistically isn't going to do anything. And I know people like really like they say like, oh, but it's like you're not using fossil fuels anymore, and it's like, but there's still a million cars on the road. Also, it is a Honda Accord, not an SUV. How is it so sturdy? I don't think you underestimate the power of the 2005 Honda Accord. There was a YouTube comment I saw on a short. It was so stupid. It was like, by moon and doom, by sickle and sword, come to me, my Honda Accord, and I need that on a shirt. I need that desperately on a shirt. No, Honda Accord is like an unbelievably like really like reliable car. It's like, sure, it may not be a Toyota, right? Because I've seen the old Toyotas. I know those things are practically indestructible. I've seen the Top Gear episode. But the Honda Accord is like incredibly reliable. Again, the only issues I've had have just been like regular maintenance, like needing new brake pads or other things. Are there other things wrong with it? Kind of. Oh, I'm not gonna mess with her. I'm not gonna be the next target. Yeah, Gertrude's a tough little old woman. She can handle it. She can handle anything that you throw her way, probably. Anyways, back to the whole electric vehicle rant. The answer is not replacing every single car with electric, nor is it like making a lot of like classic cars like illegal, because realistically nobody drives like classic models on a regular basis, because you don't want to like increase that maintenance because it's already expensive and the car is already like kind of like rare and everything. The real answer to fixing like the whole like car pollution thing is to put less cars on the road, which means just more public transport. Why am I on this layer? Oh my god. And the way Clive, I think, said it, because I think he got it from like another content creator, the whole mandate is not about like trying to like fix the environment or help the environment. It's about control, and I have to agree, because realistically when you do look at like the power that electric vehicles use, it's still using power is the thing. Like for example, if everyone switches to like crypto, it takes an unholy amount of energy to generate like 1 Bitcoin or whatever. Exactly, it is about doing the best we can to control the chaos. Yeah. So, you know what? I don't like how yellow that is, actually. It's not the color I want to go for. His hair is already like really saturated. It's probably better if I like desaturate it a little bit, huh? Yeah, it might be. But like, now, if you can imagine, like, the mileage on electric cars already isn't great, so you're already going to be needing to, like, recharge it a lot, which means you're still using a lot of power. The goal shouldn't be to, like, the goal shouldn't be, replacing everything, because, again, you're still using, like, a source of energy at the end of the day. You're still, like, everyone is going to be doing that, because, you know, cars are, like, such a personal, like, necessity. That everyone has them, but but because it's like, you know, everyone needs a car, you're still gonna have like a lot of cars on the road using a lot of energy. Like we're just running into the same problem again. Like the whole thing really is like about control and making sure consumers are still buying cars, still buying fuel and everything. The actual solution, again, I think it's just better public transportation, because God knows California needs it, God knows the rest of the world needs it. It's just they don't want to do it because cars, again, are like a huge business because everyone needs them. So, like, buying a car or having a car is just unavoidable. Which is unfortunate. Because, it's stupid. God knows Germany needs it. Yeah. It's frustrating to me. I've told Clive before that one of my favorite ideas for, like, trains is, like, nuclear-powered trains, because nuclear energy is, like, really green at the end of the day. I just recognize that it does kind of have, like, a bad, like, taste to it, because, yeah, nuclear explosions happening on, like, public transport, probably not a great idea, but, it doesn't change the fact that, like, it's a very, like, renewable source of energy, and you know what I think doesn't happen often? Train crashes, because they're on one track. Germany has 84 million people living in it and 50 million cars registered. Exactly, that's a lot. Like, the 50 million, like, 50 million cars that run on, like, fossil fuels, yeah, that's pretty bad. But 50 million cars running on, like, electricity, that's still really bad. That's still, like, not helpful at all. Like, it's better, but, like, you're just kind of, like, delaying the problem rather than fixing it, you know? Like, you're addressing, like, one symptom and not, like, the whole issue. I personally think that if you had, like, nuclear engines for trains, that is a great idea, because, for one, trains are on a track. I don't think they crash into each other that often. The only time I think I've heard when a train, like, crashes into something was that one time a police officer left a suspect in her police car handcuffed on a train track for some reason. And that made me mad, but that's not the point right now. Another crash that doesn't happen very often is planes, and I think, like, in those, like, really, like, low risk of crash vehicles, you can absolutely use nuclear power. I think. Yes, making cities walkable and being as efficient as resources as possible is better than making everyone switch. Yeah. Also, I will take any opportunity to just shit on people who, like, have Teslas, because I hate Tesla. I think if you own a Tesla, genuinely, you're just stupid, but I guess I also can't blame you because Tesla was kind of like one of the first, things for this. How should I put it? There are significantly better and cheaper cars that you can buy, or electric cars that you can buy, like, right now. They're so much, like, better than Tesla, because they are stupid. They're legitimately stupid. My friend, the first time I had rode in his parents' Tesla, it was the worst goddamn feeling. I was getting headaches all over the place. I was, like, ready to throw up, and it was, like, warm in the car, and I was just like, get me out of here. There's 68 million people in the UK and 38.9 million cars registered. It's ridiculous, but I can understand a bit. Train fares are stupidly expensive now where I am, and they're constantly delayed and are cancelled. Yeah. 33 million cars, I misread it. It's still pretty bad at the end of the day. I think California has one of the densest, like, traffic, or car traffic things, like, of the 50 states, which is hilarious. Especially because California drivers are arguably, like, some of the worst drivers, like, ever. But, yeah, the train stuff is stupid. The focus is just all in the wrong places right now, I think. And the companies just still want you buying cars, and if you don't want to buy cars, then it's like, okay, well, you're still gonna have to pay, like, a million, like a fuck ton for public transport. I'm glad public transport here, like, while it is completely, like, inaccessible because, you know, God forbid I can take a train to Cerritos, like, the bus fare is cheap. Johnny takes the bus to get back home from his college, I know that. And it's only like a few cents, which is nice. The same cannot be said for literally anything else, though. It's so stupid. How am I gonna make that? Oops. I'm gonna make that look actually like hair. There we go. Anyways, yeah, just the situation just makes me upset. And I really don't want. I think I've made it clear too that I'm not even like a big advocate for like, keeping the gas cars, because I know there's some people who are like that. There was a truck one time that I was driving behind, and they had like a huge bumper sticker, like my car runs on like real fuel or something like that, and I'm just like, do you feel proud of yourself? Do you feel more like a man when you say that? Because you know what, buddy, if that's what it takes, good for you. I'm glad that you've admitted to using fossil fuels still, like literally almost everyone else in the city. You're not special. And neither is anyone else special for using electric cars right now. You are special though, however, if you do recognize that Tesla is like so stupid. And Elon Musk deserves to be punched in the face for saying like this is like Tesla is the best electric car ever. No, it isn't. Literally, Hyundai, I think, came out with something like infinitely better and won Car of the Year like twice in a row. Which, kudos to you, Hyundai. From what I remember what my dad said, Hyundai used to be like really like bad. But they've come a long way and I'm proud of them. Weird to say for a corporation, but you know, I live with gearheads at home. While not one myself, I'm pretty close to it, so yeah. Let's see. Bus fare isn't the worst. It costs €2 for a single, no matter how far you go. It only costs that. Oh, that's really cool. For a day fare, it costs $4.55 if you want to use that ticket on different company buses. So that's nice. Yo, I'm back. What did I miss? I've been ranting about, doing my best to keep it, like, non-political, but the political is kind of bleeding out. I was just ranting about cars and, like, the whole EV mandate and how kind of dumb it is because it's not actually gonna fix any, like, problems. It's just delaying them. I just think better public transportation is the answer, and I think my US, or my California government, or history, or whatever that class was back in college was right. Anyways, nuclear-powered trains. I think we should go that way. I think it'd be very funny. I think it's already being done in, like, some countries, just not here because everyone's scared of nuclear energy for some reason. I say for some reason, like the reason isn't blatantly obvious. I think the worst thing about, like, some things is recognizing that the solution is very easy, and it's corporate greed that, like, makes it difficult. Like, because again, I feel like a lot of problems would be fixed if we just did these very simple things, and we just didn't have, like, the issue of, like evil in the world, right? Like, yeah, we could have nuclear trains, but I do agree that if some, like, psychopath decides to, like, hijack it, that's, like, pretty bad. That's, like, arguably, like, really, really bad. But, you know, I think it's just, like, a whole fault of the system, like, it's a public service. I feel like you should work to make your public service, like, serviceable and, like, good for everyone. It's just, like, you know, there's so much, like, greed that exists that people just don't want to do, like, the actual, like, thing that's gonna solve everything. My dad is... I think my dad, like, feels the same way, or he's, like, starting to realize, like, how bad it is. Really, he watched a whole documentary on, like, the evils of capitalism and how, like, technology just isn't made to last anymore, and it's just kind of been, like, a downward spiral, and he's, like, so close. BRB, gotta help my mom out. Oh yeah, of course. No, don't worry about it. I'm just ranting again. I'm trying my best to put, like, a positive spin on things, but, the topic of these things is always just kind of gonna be kind of grim because of the world that we live in. That being said, I think ultimately something will have to prevail at some point. Like, there's no way they're gonna win for this long, right? Or for that long, to the point of, like, no return. Because there's just, like, so many, like, things that I think are interesting to think about. Greed will always exist as long as things have value. Exactly. Like, it's always going to exist, and I think the best that people can do is just, like, try to, like, mitigate that. Like, okay, you corporations can be greedy and all because, you know, you're always going to be, but, if you want our money, if you want, like, our things, or if you want us to continue, like, funding you, essentially, do this, because if you don't, you are legitimately not gonna have any more people to siphon money from. You know, I care about the environment. My favorite thing has always, like, at Carl's Jr., if we're gonna take it back to, like, a very, like, funny, like, rant, at the very least, just to, like, not let the topic die, but just, like, to end things off, sort of, on, like, a vague, sort of, like, rant. I love those people who probably, like, I just know that people are, like, buying Teslas, not because they care about the environment or anything, but because I'm sure they just want to, like, look rich and, like, it's about the status. Of course, not that Tesla is, like, a good brand at all at this point right now. Because the stupid thing is that if you buy it under the guise of, like, oh, I care about the environment and I want to, like, reduce the usage of, like, fossil fuels and everything, it is flexing a brand. Yeah, it absolutely is. I'm like, oh, I care about this. Okay, tell me why I just watched you throw trash out your window when you were leaving the drive-thru then, huh? Like, you want to explain that to me, buddy? If you care about the environment so much, you're gonna hold on to that trash, take it home, and put it in your trash can. Like, littering is just so, like, it's so avoidable and people still do it. Like, the wind blew my coffee lid off my cup yesterday, and I, walked onto the street, just to, like, pick it up, put it in a trash can, went back inside the restaurant to get a new one. So it's like, you guys are literally just buying the Teslas to flex. I know you assholes don't actually care about the environment. Like, I feel like if you buy an electric car, you should be, like, obligated, like, morally obligated to never litter again in your life. Because if you can afford an expensive as fuck electric car, you can afford to hold on to that trash in your pocket and drop it when you get home. I think that's my opinion there. I have a lot of, like, strong opinions against, like, against hypocrisy, because I feel like it just happens so much. Like, tell me why there's so much trash in the drive-thru and I have to, like, sweep it up. Like, why can't you people just hold on to it? Teslas are basically Jojo brand. Real! Basically, yeah. Yeah, but, guys, we all may hate Pierre, but remember, he punches the Elon Musk equivalent in the game. That's like, what am I gonna do? Let the capitalists win? Or let the big corporation win? No. I'll let the small business owner who desperately wants to be a capitalist do it, because I know he's never gonna be, like, he's never gonna achieve his dreams. It's like buying those 20-gram plates of pasta for hundreds of dollars in an expensive restaurant. It is a flex. It's not a good flex, though. I think... oh my god. This has just become, like, the Kyra rants about cars thing. This is my, like, inner, like, car nerd. Whatever's, like, actually there, like, just coming out. I told this to Clive, like, a few weeks ago. Oh, let me change the soundtrack real quick. Let's see. Kyra's street preaching hour. I have so many strong opinions about cars, it's kind of funny. Do Deltarune Chapter 2, I think that'll be fun. I genuinely think if you don't live, like, in a very, like, country, like, off-road area, like Appalachia or anything like that, if you live here in the suburbs and you have, like, the biggest pickup truck that money can afford you, I think you should be, okay, not thrown behind bars necessarily, but I think that should be illegal. Like, genuinely. Because, one, you don't fit inside the parking spaces because, hey, look around you, not everyone has a big fuck-all pickup truck. Two, you are a hazard. You are a hazard whether you are driving in that car or having it, like, parked somewhere else. Because, newsflash, buddy, if I try to back out and I can't see what's behind me because your car is blocking, like, my entire view, that's not a skill issue on my end. That's you being a complete asshole and, like, putting literally everyone else in danger so that you can flex how small your penis is. Like, I hate the big pickup trucks so much because it's such a nuisance. And, like, why do you have that? I know the mileage on that thing can't be great because it's massive. Like, why do you have that? It's ridiculous. So I genuinely think, like, they should be, like, outlawed in, like, certain, like, cities. Because it's like, you don't need a big off-road thing out here unless you actually plan on going camping. And if you really only have it on, like, for, like, going camping out in the woods, then save it for when you're going camping out in the woods. Or, like, rent a pickup truck for that, even. It's like, you are putting everyone in danger. For no reason. It's like with speeding, it's like with so many, like, other things. Like, I'm glad it makes you feel better about yourself, but I hope you realize that everyone else feels very unsafe around you. Because they are unsafe around you. You are putting everyone in danger because you want to feel better about yourself. And I think it's so stupid. Like, I get it. It sounds dystopian to be like, oh, you can't have this kind of car even though it's a car that you really want. But that's like saying, like, okay, well, I don't care if it puts people in danger. I want to own, like, a nuclear bomb in my house. OMG Deltarune music. Yeah, I love the Deltarune and Undertale soundtracks. They're great. Like, they hit so hard. I think before I used to be, like, really worried about, like, oh, if I listen to, like, this one video game soundtrack, it's gonna be, like, cringe, so I'm gonna listen to, like, real music, and then, I've reached a point in my life where, or I was like, actually, no, it's not cringe. Cringe is a construct created by society that wants to put people down. I'm going to be free. I'm not cringe, I am free. I think that's the better way to look at things. Like, I may be cringe, but I'm not free. You're not cringe. You're free. You're just free. You're free from everybody else's biases. But yeah, no. I think if you, I just think it's, like, stupid. Where it's like, oh, I want to own a big pickup truck because I really like big pickup trucks. Okay, I want to own a nuclear bomb because I really like nuclear bombs. You can't always get what you want, that is just a part of life. Exactly. Like, I don't understand people's need for these big cars. Like, do you feel safer? It's the same thing with my pet peeves about driving are coming out. It's so funny. It's the same thing with, like, headlights. I get really upset with how bright headlights have gotten. Because that is also a hazard. You think for a moment, like, oh, well, the brighter lights, you could see better in the dark, especially in, like, cities where they don't have a lot of street lights. Yeah. You are technically right about that. Maybe you can see better, but the person, like, on the other side of the street that you're, essentially flashbanging, with your headlights, no, they cannot see any better. In fact, they can probably see worse. I've had it happen to me so many times. Where, like, an oncoming car, it's like their high beams are shining directly into my retina, and then I almost, like, I'll either, like, almost miss a stop, or I just won't see something and almost hit it because, like, the oncoming traffic, I can't see. Like, it is actually blinding. It's ridiculous. So, like, I take issue with, like, the incessant need to make headlights brighter because you don't. You don't need them if you live in a city. Like, there's just so many issues with just like street stuff that I take issue with, and I think it's hilarious. Oh my god. But yeah, that is my piece on like cars and everything. There's so much that I think should be like outlawed because it is a genuine danger to like everyone else, and I think it's stupid that we don't have laws against this. Like, there should be regulations on how bright headlights can be. There should be regulations on the size of car that you can buy when you live in a city. Oh, actually, I don't wanna... is that all the things I wanna do for that? I guess it is. I'm gonna do rims then, instead of moving on to other highlights. And again, I do recognize, like, oh, like, yeah, it does sound a little bit dystopian when you do that, but I'm preaching it for the sake of safety. Because the solution shouldn't be like, oh, well, why don't you just get a car with brighter headlights then? Because you don't need that bright of headlights to drive in the dark. We don't live in the country where there's essentially like no like ambient light from anything. We don't live in the wilderness. We live in a city with streetlights and houses and other like forms of ambient lighting. We don't need cars that essentially have their high beams on at any given point. And I fear for the day when they are gonna drive with their high beams on, because I know that's gonna be like looking directly into the sun. So it's like, man, if only. Oh man, I wish Clive was here. He would have like so much to say, because he agrees with me on like so many things. Because he does agree that it's stupid, and I'm sure if I brought my dad onto stream, he would also like say like the same thing, like, yeah, it is stupid, huh? I'm glad like they think that way. I think their opinions on stuff has influenced a lot of like my own opinions on stuff. Because while I may not do the research, I have lived it. I've seen it with my own two eyes. Or rather, I haven't, because their headlights are still blinding me. I think this is coming along so far. I would get to a background for this, but the thing is that this is actually supposed to be only half of the thumbnail. So the reason why I have them each in their own layer groups here is because Johnny is supposed to be drawing like his own half of the thumbnail. I don't know when he's going to do that. I have no idea if he's even started. But I think part of it is because he doesn't know who exactly he wants to romance yet for the Stardew Valley expanded playthrough. Because there is a lot. He had like some criticisms to share too. I wonder if... I hope he's okay with me sharing them here, because I think they are valid criticisms. Just like light things that he noticed when we were playing through the mod last week. I didn't get to meet a lot of the new NPCs because I was too busy looking for fish. And the thing about Stardew Valley is, okay, like a lot of the writing makes sense, right? Like some of the characters are gonna be like a little like, oh, I don't really want to talk to you because I don't know you that well, right? Like Shane and Sebastian probably, maybe Abigail, I can't really remember. A lot of the characters are like that, understandably so. You're new in town, you're kind of a stranger, and the characters probably don't even know, like, you inherited the farm from your granddad or something, I don't know. Which makes sense, but a lot of the characters from Stardew Valley Expanded, and I think this might just be, like, a juvenile, like, author thing, is they're all kind of like that. You just moved in and it makes sense. It makes total sense, but the Stardew Valley Expanded characters are especially, like, they don't know how to create small talk. For example, the friendlier NPCs, like Sam, Elliot, I really want to say Abigail talks to you, but I can't remember because I honestly don't talk to her that much. Emily, they all know how to create small talk. Elliot talks about being a writer. He talks about like having just moved in, spending a lot of time writing. Sam probably like talks about like other things, like maybe work or his like little like guitar thing going on, stuff like that. They all know how to converse. Or his character, which is good because you know you need some like sociable characters. On the more like antisocial side, you have Shane, who just doesn't really want to bother with you. You have Penny, who is unbelievably shy, and me too, Penny. I also wouldn't know how to strike a conversation with a new person. Shane, Sebastian, who's kind of like in his room all day on his computer. Me too, buddy. It's kind of like that, and the problem with the Stardew Valley expanded characters, according to Johnny, and I trust him because he's met them all, and both of us do kind of have like, we both of us do kind of write. Only I say kind of because it's, you know, it's our main thing is visual art, not written art, and the Stardew Valley expanded characters, according to him, all of them like they don't want to talk to you. And it's not even like a Shane. It's not even necessarily like a Shane situation. It's like there's the pink-haired girl. I forget her name. It's like Sophia or something. But she's just like scared of you for some reason. Like I know I met her when we were playing, and it's like I said hi, and then I kid you not, her dialogue was something like "eek" or something like that. Like, oh my god, like who are you? Why are you talking to me? And it's like, I'm socially awkward, and even I'm not like that levels of anime schoolgirl awkward. I don't know if there's a reason for that, but like the other characters, like all the Stardew Valley expanded characters, I think, according to Johnny, just don't know how to make like small talk like at all in the beginning, which is frustrating when it's like the perception of like Shane and Sebastian and, you know, other characters kind of like shaped all of that, and it's like, oh well, this is how our characters are gonna be because it makes sense that way. Doesn't know it as well. Drop real. So it turned from I don't know you yet to I don't want to know you ever. Yeah, kind of. It's like I get it. I'm not particularly great at small talk, but you know, I'm not about to like it's like I'm going to make an attempt. It probably won't be a great attempt, but like I'm going to make an attempt, and I'm not just gonna like turn people away if they want to like talk about something. I'm not great at socializing, but I do love being social. None of us here are, I think. Mood. Yeah, I stream on Twitch. Why else do I'm pretending to be very social. But no, I am. I'm very friendly. I'm very like if you get to know me in real life, it's very it's not that bad at all. I might just be like a little quiet, but I do enjoy the company of others. I don't typically find it overwhelming. I find it overwhelming when you start to get into like how should I put it? Like, oh, we're gonna like hang out and we're gonna like talk all day, and I'm like, okay, hang on. I don't have that many like interesting things to like talk about. Let's be real, my attempt would be, hi, new person, do you have a cat? Oh, mood. I mean, that is like a good conversation starter. Like, oh, actually, I'm like more of a dog person. This is a picture of my dog. He's very silly. He's very chunky. He's got a very squishy face. But I do like cats. And like that's a good way to like start a conversation still, I think. Like again, I think the writing in Expanded, it sounds just a little juvenile right now. I don't know if it like gets any better as you get to know the characters, but I think it is just an easy sort of like thing for like people to like fall into, like, oh well, this is how this is gonna go in the beginning, because they don't know you, and it's like, well, even if you don't know someone, you can still like be somewhat sociable. Like, I don't know that many people at work. You wanna know how I started making friends at work? Outing myself as a Scorpio girly. It was no, there was just like this old manager that used to be there. I think he was like really into like the star signs and everything. When I mentioned I was a Scorpio, he was like, "Oh my God, Kyra, you're a Scorpio? I'm so sorry." I'm like, "You should be." My attempt is to ask a few questions and then stop because I feel like I'm interrogating them. Scorpio gang, rise up, right? Scorpios are great. My favorite thing is how hilarious. Okay, we're not problematic, but it's really funny to say that we are. We're just really, really angry and spiteful sometimes. And you know what? That's okay. My favorite thing one night, I was looking things up with like a friend. Like, what is like being a Scorpio actually? Because when I looked it up in high school, it was like, oh, they're very violent, they're very angry. When in reality, I think all it is just like we're supposedly like very passionate, but we do have a tendency to like get mad. And like when we get mad, like we do kind of aim to like wound or something like that. Maybe not physically, but like kind of like oh, when I get mad, I want you to know that I'm mad, kind of mad, you know? But then like it devolved into the website that I looked at, it devolved into like oh, we wear our emotions with pride. Real. I'd rather have the other person start the conversation first. I'm so shy, our IRL mood. Yeah. I know one way I started, like, talking to a girl that I low-key had a crush on. It was just making myself sound like a complete idiot. And, to be fair, I was a complete idiot, and this story was true. I didn't have a laptop until, like, the second semester of my college career, and, having never had a laptop before, I'm sitting outside my first, class, before it starts. I'm like, how do you open this thing? And I'm like trying to pry it open, like, is there a lock? Is there a clamp? And I'm looking around. I was holding it backwards. And I'm so like fast forward to the bio class. I'm like sitting there, cute girl, short curly hair, really pretty red lipstick, and I'm like, I'm such an idiot. I'm a comp sci major, and I spent like 20 minutes trying to open my laptop because it was backwards. She just laughed, and that's how we started talking. Man, I wish when she offered to take me to dinner, I wish I went so bad. Oh my god, that's like the biggest fumble of my life, I think. I've never had something handed to me so directly on a silver, well, that's a do not call that Riz, please. It's like Riz, okay, if you have like pathetic and Riz on like two ends of a scale, I made myself so pathetic that I broke the scale and went all the way back to Riz. It's moments like these where you question everything. If you guys want the full story. So I found her like really pretty, right? I really like short curly hair, and then I also like, I think on boys and girls, I really like short curly hair. I think it's so cute. I think it's like such a good aesthetic. But on guys too, I also have a thing for like guys with like long hair, but that's besides the point because we're talking about this cute girl in my bio class right now. And so she's sitting there across the hallway, and I just like my brain is like telling me like, Kyra, if you do not talk to this girl, if you snooze for 5 minutes, I'm doing story time right now. Okay, we got 5 minutes to get through this story. So like, as, I'm like right, she's like right there, and my brain's telling me like, Kyra, if you do not talk to this girl, you are an idiot, and you will regret it for the rest of your life. And I'm like, man, I need to find a way to talk to this girl, otherwise I'm gonna regret it and be an idiot for the rest of my life. So that's how I started talking to her, the whole laptop thing. And, you know, we like chat a little bit during class, and one day she tells me like, hey, I'm not gonna be here for the class session. Do you think you could like take notes for me? I'm like, yeah, sure, I got you. Like, I'll just like send her my notes. So I sent her my notes after the class, and she was like, oh my god, thank you like so much. I should really like repay you for this. I'm like, no, it's no problem at all, you know. Like, I was taking notes anyways. Like, it's no, there's a saying here and I completely forgot what it is. It's no problem at all. And then she goes like, oh, I know, I could take you out to dinner. And I was like, hold on. Hold on, pause. And, this was still, like, the period in my life where I think I still thought I was straight, even though I had a thing for, like, women. I was like, no, I just think they're really pretty, and, like, I just really like how women look, and I just think, like... So I was just like, oh no, I don't want her to think I'm, like, I don't want her to think that I'm, like, into her like that, but I was into her like that. No, you don't. So I said, no, you don't have to worry about dinner at all. And then, like, here I am, like, 5, 6 years later, just like, why did I say no? Kyrie, you had one foot in the door. Fair if you didn't know just yet, yeah. I should've. That has to be, like, the biggest fumble of my life. Girl asked me out to dinner, and I said, like, no, you don't gotta worry about it. Oh my god, the amount of people who come to me for, like, romance advice and stuff, it is hilarious sometimes. And when I say amount of people, I low-key mean, like, just Johnny most of the time. I have a great fumble story too. I feel like a lot of people have one. No. Yeah. Hey, fumbling the bag has to be one of the funniest things, though. It makes for great stories. And you know what? Not that I'm looking for a relationship right now anyways. So it's fine, unless that cute girl in the drive-thru I saw like a few months ago wants to stop on by. Anyways. God. No, it's weird how many people, like, it's like one other coworker too who comes to me for, like, dating advice, and I'm just like, you are coming to, like, the person least qualified for this. Like, to put it into perspective, if, like, I'm not good with, like, catching, like, social cues either sometimes. One of my exes, I didn't realize he had a crush on me for, like, the longest time, like, an embarrassingly— so you are the single person who constantly gets asked for advice. Okay, not necessarily, like, the single person. It's more like, I am a person to approach for some reason. Because I know Johnny was, like, asking, like, Kyra, how do you know if a girl likes you? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure the girl likes you, but then again, I'm also stupid and can't pick up social cues, but it sounds like the girl likes you. So that was something that was happening. But if you want to know how bad I am at this, one of my exes, before he confessed to me, had started sending, like, those wholesome memes, where it's like, oh, I think you're adorable, but, like, the door in door is replaced with, like, an actual door, and so on and so forth. And I was like, oh man, these memes are hilarious. And then, like, one time late at night, he asked me, like, hey, is it okay if I flirt with you? And I'm like, yeah, it's like friends, like, low-key kind of flirt with each other all the time, right? And I'm, like, asking my friend afterwards, like, Brittany, I know you and me flirt back at each other, so this is, like, a friend thing to do, right? And she's just like, Kyra. Kyra. And I'm like, I don't know, right? So it's, and then, like, I know one time when we were hanging out in person, he called me cute, and I was like, oh, thanks! The girl noticed. Yeah, I recognize that now. Drink some water. But yeah. And I was like, oh, thanks for calling me cute, something like that. I did not get the message until he actually, like, told me. Like, yeah, I'm trying to, like, ask you out, Kyra. And I'm like, oh. more sense now. Do not come to me for advice. I am unfathomably stupid and dense. When I made that comment on, like, Rose thing, like, how do you know, like, if another artist, like, likes you or not? I was just like, I am, like, the last person anyone should be asked for, like, this, because I am denser than a cement wall. Look at you now, though, giving fish to dudes. Riz has improved. The fish Riz is off the charts. It's incredible. Yeah, because this is what we call Riz right here. Just two homies giving each other fish, making sure the other homie is nice and fed. What's better than that? Actually, oh my god. I need to talk about this part in the comics. Perhaps it's off the hook. More like he's hooked, right? Let me read this part of the comics script. Ooh. Oh my god, I completely forgot my dad was in surgery today. Let me text my mom. Yippee! My cat side would certainly consider this Riz. You guys are great. Oh my god, that's bright. So the Stardew comic whip that I posted earlier, I actually have, like, the script for the dialogue completely written out. When I think about it more, I think I might have accidentally only posted the script to Blue Sky. So whoopsies, if you only follow me on Twitter, you probably might not know what script I'm talking about. But I'm sure you guys have, like, seen the thing already. I can pull it up. Get out of here, TurboTax, I don't know how to use you. Which one is it? This one. Don't turn off the face cam, put that back. Okay, this one. This is all scripted out already, I just have to, like, get through sketching all the pages, and I'm, like, low-key worried that this is gonna take a really, really long time. Shall I tell my Bumble story as well to even out the playing field? Yeah, go for it. In the meantime, I am going to talk about this script because 5-second delay hurts me spiritually. I have a part in the script, because I figured since I was doing this when I didn't have my iPad pen, I figured I would just, like, write out what I wanted to happen. And I thought, like, a really cute moment would just be, like, because the whole comic is about, like, Big Ouchie's carpal tunnel, right? I thought a cute moment would be just, like, taking, like, the wrist to, like, sort of examine it, and then, like, both of them being, like, completely, like, unaware, like, oh, oopsies. You guys will, like, see what I'm talking about when I get there, but I'm proud of how this looks so far. I think, for one, the improvement in my art style is definitely helping a lot, but I think just, like, when I do my comic stuff, comics, I think, by nature kind of have to be fast-paced because it's really hard to, like, hold shots, like, like if it was a regular animation, right? And, so what I like to do is, I try to, in my head, all of this plays out, like, very, like, animated, right? Like, it's already, like, a little short film. So, in my head, I just kind of, like, take what I consider to be, like, the very, like, important, shots, and I try to, like, linger on those as much as possible. Hence, like, why after this first page, there's, like, so much focus on, like, staying on, like, one character at a time, just to, like, really, like, rein it in. And I think that's a fun way to do things. I need to finish this page. It's gonna take a while. Comic work always takes a while. I don't know how people do it. Alright, so during a class trip in year 11 of school, me and a girl in the class really started talking. Like, we would split from groups to chat, and she was asking me to be close with her. Oh no. One time we talked, and she showed me a picture of herself from months back with black hair. She's blonde now, and asked me, do you like blonde girls? Oh no! She is literally, like, giving you the cards. Oh man. And I deadass say I prefer them with black hair. Oh my god. If I was her, I would have just been like, oh, okay, I'll just dye it back then. No worries. This is really genuinely like one of those like Reddit moments where it's like, guys, how do you know? I need help, fellas. She is married now and here, and I am here, so it worked out. Real. That does remind me. One of my friends in college, he told us this story about how there were two girls when he was in high school that he felt like asking out to prom. So when one of the girls, like asked him out, he was like, actually, I was thinking of asking this other girl, to prom. And so that was a whole mess of its own. I think she ended up being like lesbian though, or both girls were. So it ended up like working out. But we always referred to her in the group as like Girl A because we weren't ever sure if we were gonna meet her, know her by name, yada yada yada, right? It's just like the story of Girl A and Girl B. So, so one day, a friend that I had, introduced me to this other friend that he had. Her name was Sarah, and we're like talking through text, and she's like, yeah, actually I have another friend who's a computer science major. I don't know if you know him, but he wears he wears a penguin costume. And I just like stare at my phone for a moment, and that friend of mine who like fumbled the bag with these two girls was like, I know he had worn a penguin costume before, and I was like, he wouldn't happen to be named this, right? And I'm not saying his name because I know he wanted to try like the whole VTubing thing, but he didn't want his name out there, so I'm gonna refrain from saying his name. But I was just like, you wouldn't happen to be talking about this one person, right? And she was like, oh my god, you know him? So I went to our friend Discord and I was like, guys, how did I meet the girl that our buddy was talking about in high school? Which was just like a really funny thing, and all of us were just like, the lore in the friend group goes crazy. I don't talk to them that much anymore, which is a shame because I'm just like way too busy for stuff. But it was like, it was such like a funny like coincidence. It's like, I've heard of you, I've known you before I even met you, because of another mutual friend we have for some reason. Oh no, the world is just way too small sometimes. Exactly, I was just there like no way. No way this just happened. Yeah. It is funny how that works out sometimes. What time is it? It's 1:48. Oh wow. Does not feel like it's been that long at all. The ranting really does like pad in like all the space, I think. Speaking of that friend group, if you guys remembered the story about like the stalker from like that I sort of had in high school, I know I told that story, but I don't know like how many people actually remember it. There was something I wanted to mention about this. I was talking about this to the guys at the game store yesterday because I had a shift then to like run a D&D game. No one showed up, but you know, I'll try to find a way to advertise it better. I think I remember the author. Yeah, the author. The guy with his book. that I'm not gonna share the name of because the last thing I want is for this guy to get more money because his book is $10 on Amazon. I was talking about it yesterday. This guy has to be like the craziest part of my lore, I think. It's just because, one, to me it's already crazy that like these kinds of people exist. It's like, how do you just exist out here in the world? But I was telling Neil about it. You guys have seen Neil in chat. We talk on Discord a bit, so like we decided to do like, hey, when was the last time like we did like a little like update, like a little dig on what this guy is doing. As it turns out, he might actually be a VTuber. I don't know if he still streams, but what we do know is that he does use a voice mod to make his voice deeper, because I know his voice isn't that deep. And I'm like low-key sure that he lies about being married, because I've seen his Instagram. There is not a goddamned post about his wedding. So I'm pretty sure he's lying about that. But like, I don't know like for certain. I'm just like pretty sure, because you know, how are you not gonna post about your wedding? Hi, Mom. Yeah, he did. Anyways, we were talking about it at the store. So I have a copy of the book because we were using it for like a drinking game. Like oh, every time there's a grammatical error, take a shot or something like that. Man, that was painful when we were doing that. Here's Elliot done, I think. That's all the rims I want to add. So I'm going to be bringing that book to the store so that they can also revel in how, like, horrendously bad that book is, because, oh boy. I feel bad kind of sharing the story all the time, because it's not like I had, like, a lot happen to me, I think, compared to, like, others, say, like, victims. But I only share the story because it is insanely funny to me. And I like to point and laugh at this guy because he high-key, like, deserves to be pointed and laughed at. But, yeah. I'm excited to share that with, like, the game store people. It's gonna be very funny. I've considered reading it on stream before, but at the same time, I just don't want him to get attention more than he already has. Just cause, like, it's not a good book, but, like, it's better that it's better that it's, like, that it remains, like, mostly unknown. And I'd rather just keep it to, like, a small thing of, like, friends, and I'll just, like, discuss, like, the most obscene things about the book, I think. Because, again, it is wild to me that this exists. I'm also going to be bringing the Stardew Valley board game on Sunday, just because it's a lot of my coworkers there seem like really excited to try it, because I think it was really hard to get a hands on it in the first place. So I think it's pretty lucky that me and Johnny found it for like a good price, and we just like split halfway for it. I want to see if Johnny would be able to like call off on that Sunday too, so I can like take him to the game store and we can all play together. Because I'm really excited. I like that it's co-op. And it really is just like, oh, it's Stardew Valley, but like, like literally just in a board game form, which I think is exciting. Also, that's not usually gray, is it? Huh. It's fine. Saturate it a little bit more. Oh, the music is stopping again. Accidentally zoomed out here. So let me fix that real quick. Always forget to like tab into the right window whenever I like switch between them real quick. I always end up like hitting something wrong. Let's see. The D&D one-shot that I have written for the store this week, because I finally got someone to play, like, the winter, racing-themed one. It's, like, a little like western town. I called it Ironhoof, and there's just a little bit of a murder mystery going on there, because, you know, that's something with like high stakes and can hopefully like big shot time. Yes. You know, solving a little murder case is like kind of high stakes, kind of encourages the players not to goof around too much. I still want them to goof around, but just, you know, like not obscenely goof around that they fumble the thing. They're probably gonna fumble the thing, and I'm gonna have to like figure out how to like rail them back in, or wrangle them back in, and I think I'm mostly proud of the twist. I wish I didn't tell Johnny, because then I could have had him like come to the store to play yesterday. I'm mostly proud of the twist, because the biggest mystery is that the killer did break into the victim's home, but there's only one set of like footprints like leading into the house, and there's like nothing else leading away from it, which I think is like a really like cool mystery to happen. Oh, 7 viewers. Hi, welcome. I'm talking about D&D. I'm really proud of the twist. I don't know if I want to play it on stream though, because it is a little bit rushed, and I did kind of like put everything together like the day before the one shot was supposed to happen, and I am a slow writer listening, so I think I will talk about the twist. So the reason, or like the big like reveal to the mystery being solved, the reason why there was only one set of footprints is because the killer was a druid who snuck in, and rather than like walk back out, they had like wild shaped into something else, so the tracks that they left wouldn't have been like noticed, because the tracks that they were using belonged to like local wildlife. So it's like, oh duh, of course there's like coyote tracks here. We get coyotes all the time, which was completely overlooked by police, and the players are supposed to put that together. Now, will they put that together? Debatable. Arguably very, very debatable. I did my best to put like as many clues, like the victim was like leaving the tavern, and it's like, oh, I felt like someone was watching me, but when I looked, I kind of only saw like a cat. Or I kind of like sort of woke up before I got hit in the head with an axe, but I couldn't really see anything because it was dark. But I did smell like this really like outdoorsy smell. The cat is innocent. Oh, if only. This particular druid character, I like to make fun of like characters with, okay, not make fun of characters with edgy backstories, but I like to poke fun at them, because you know, the stereotype I think is generally that like a lot of people take their characters like very, very seriously. It's always like, I'm gonna be like a broody edgelord with a tragic backstory because my parents were killed and I'm trying to find revenge on the people who put me on the streets. Like that, like it's so common in like D&D backstories that I just kind of like have to like poke a little bit of fun at it. So the reason why this poor man gets like killed is because like it was you and your adventuring team killed my fellow comrades, my little band of thieves, and I'm out here to seek revenge on their end. And then the guy is just there like, I think I have a twin brother and I think you got the wrong one. I think that's just like a funny little thing, because you know it has to have happened at some point in like a fantasy world, right? I accidentally killed the wrong guy because whoops, turns out that person who killed your family had a twin brother who had absolutely nothing to do with the whole ordeal. Also, I think it's just like funny, in a sense, because you don't think about these things a lot when you're playing. Quick from greetings from San Diego. How's it going? What kind of project am I working on today? I'm working on a thumbnail to put to use whenever I play Stardew Valley, because it's almost done. I feel like I haven't finished a lot of art recently, and I figured, hey, since this is like the closest thing that I have like almost complete, I might as well finish it on stream. And then I'll dedicate like the rest of my time to finish like chibi prizes for the art raffle. Speaking of, I completely forgot to mention this. I have my 400 follower draw this in your style, because I completely because we reached 400 on Blue Sky like super quickly. I didn't even have time to do like 300 or 200, I think. It just happened like really, really fast, and then Twitter is also almost there. It did reach 400 at some point, but it dropped back down to like 398, which, you know, is fine. It's like close enough to 400 that I can be like pretty happy. Like I can be like pretty happy where it was, and it did reach 400 at some point. But yeah, I just want to like finish this first, just to like get something out there. This will be finished in the fact that it probably won't have a background, or maybe it'll have like a simple background for now. I don't know. Congratulations! Yes, thank you. I should have mentioned this at the beginning of stream. Like, yeah, I have a draw this in your style competition because hello, 8 viewers. I have a draw this in my style competition because I still have to get like the art raffle chibis out, and I thought it would be like a really like fun thing to do, because I've never done a draw this in your I've never hosted one before, nor have I actually like participated in one, because I always forget. Like, I'll see it and I'm like, oh, I should do that, and then I forget, and I'm just like, let me just see how this goes real quick. I don't know how many entries there's gonna be, because, you know, I do be forgetting a lot. That art contest, that fan art contest that I entered, I did win. I did get into the comic, and it's really, really cool to see my art there, and it's really, really cool that the guy followed me back on Twitter. It was really funny because I did forget, like, for like a week. There was 2 weeks to do the competition, and then I only remembered because I was like, oh man, the webcomic didn't update this Monday. I wonder what happened. So I looked, and I was like, oh my god, I forgot the art competition is going. I need to go do that real quick. So, it's a 2-week deadline. I downloaded the references, but it's unlikely I'll join. Those things always seem to end bad for me, and I'm bad with dealing with getting judged. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna, like... it's not like I'm gonna say anything directly. I'm gonna, like, absolutely, like, compliment the shit out of, like, everyone's art that I get. Because getting, like... getting fan art has to be, like, one of the craziest things to me. Like, Butch, thank you again for your fan art. Hang on, I need to show you guys. I should have done this, like, at the beginning of stream. It's so cute. It's such a cute little thing. Hang on. ¿Dónde está el arte? Where did it go? I think I've scrolled too far down. Let me check my replies. It's probably there, because I know I quoted it. So that's what I was looking for, but I can't seem to find it right now. Where did it go? Genuinely, where did it go? I know I quoted it. Maybe it's on my Blue Sky. Hang on. I need to show you guys because it's so cute. Please tell me it's here. Please tell me it's still here somewhere. I'll see if I can join, but since I have my own raffle to wrap up next week alongside 2 whips, it might take a while. Yeah, if I think I need to extend the deadline, I'll extend the deadline, but like, the reason why the deadline is short is so here's my reasoning for it, for like the 2-week deadline is, I've been in college before. I know what it's like to have a professor go like, okay, you have X amount of time to do this, and you have a long while, so you don't gotta worry about it, but also don't put it off. And then you still end up putting it off, so, you know, I didn't want to, like, accidentally, like, do that. But I'm also, like, worried maybe, like, 2 weeks isn't long enough. But, you know, if I need to extend it, I can extend it. Anyways, here it is. Oh. Looks like this is the end of the soundtrack. Let's go to... just really quick. But yeah, no worries. If I need to like make the due date longer, I will make the due date longer. It's I won't worry about it too much. Oh my god, where did all my video game OSTs go? Where did they go? My word. Let's do this one. I did that all the time. I'm surprised I got the second highest marks in my class. In college. Mood. But yeah, here's Butch's fan art. Or, God damn it, I clicked the wrong button again. Here it is! Ah, it's so cute! I love it so much. It's, please load. An image in new tab? There we go. Look at it! It's adorable! I love that you use, like, the brown sort of, like, leather jacket, too. I think it looks really good with, like, all the warm tones and everything. I love the amethyst, too. I always change, like, what crystal earring I'm wearing, because I have, like, so many of them. Not that I have every single color, but, like, I have a lot of them, and it's, like, I like earrings, so. But I love that you use the purple ones here instead, because red and purple has to be one of my favorite color combos. That is really cute, right? And then, like, look at the scales, too. Like, I'm glad you got those in. I love it so much. I love that you put the scales because the whole lore is that my Sona is supposed to be, like, a draconic sorcerer. So, of course, she has the scales on her. So, I just really appreciate, like, that attention to detail. I love that you add the tail rings because I'm all here for tiefling accessories at any given point in time. It's so cute. The hair is so fluffy too. I wish my hair was like that fluffy in real life. It's very, I showered yesterday. I haven't showered today yet, so it's very like not voluminous right now. But it's like this is such a fluffy art style. It's so like I wanna pinch her cheeks. Like it's so cute. Oh my god, I love it so much. Yeah, goated fan art. Give Butch like a follow. He makes some wonderful stuff. I love his art style. But yeah, very cute stuff. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the draw this in your style. Yeah, yeah, because I have to finish up the art raffle stuff. And the other thing too is the Ren Fair that is by my house, and I mean like literally, like I could walk to this Ren Fair if I really wanted to. They're back. They were very concerned that they weren't going to be able to return in 2025, but they are good for another year. So, let me turn up the music a little bit. But they're good for another year, which means their vendor application is out. And they're going to be here in, like, end of May, into June. And I'm just like, could I sell my art there? I want to sell my art there. I really, really want to sell my art there. But that means I have to make stuff that I can sell, too. Because I have a lot of stuff that I think I could sell as, like, prints already. But I want to sell, like, stickers, too. But I kind of only have the Baldur's Gate 3 stickers at the moment. So, so there's that, and I really want to do that. So I need, like, time to, like, work on that, too. I just need to figure out their application, because their application is like, well, what does your booth look like? This is my first time doing it. I don't have photos of a booth. But yeah, I'm really excited. I really hope that like they take me when I send in that application. I understand that they might not, just because I don't think a Ren Fair is typically like the place where you go for art prints or stickers or keychains and whatnot. It's very much like you go there to get like the Renaissance drip, you know? So I'm not expecting to get accepted in, but I am like fingers crossed, please. Oops, forgot to tab back in. So hopefully, because it is one of my New Year's resolutions to sell art at some kind of like convention or fair. I'm just like Elliot for real, just like different skill set entirely. And I have like some ideas. I want to do like stickers of like all the classes like hit die, and they have like equipment surrounding them and like other like stuff that sort of like go along with it, like a D8 for the druid, and then like you get like a little fern or a mushroom or a sickle or a quarterstaff, stuff like that. I think that would be really cute. But I kind of have to figure it out for like the rest of the classes. it'd be very helpful if my brain wasn't so unbelievably hyperfixated on being a druid main. Good luck. I hope you're accepted. You have very charming artwork. I think people would love it. Thank you so much. You're so kind. Yeah, I hope so too. I know my coworker, one of my coworkers at Carl's, he mentioned that somewhere in a nearby city they also have like art, like a little, like their own small little art fair. I don't know if that has to do with like the community college there though, or anything. And I tried to see about the farmers market in the mall, but that was very much a farmers market. I'm just like, I'm not sure if they would take art. So I have to like ask him again, but I don't have his number. I don't have anyone's phone number at work. I've sold at conventions before, not a run fair, but if you need help or have questions, I'm happy to help. I might actually take you up on that offer because, let me look at the application again. It's on my phone. Because I've never vended before, and I really want to try it out, because, I've had, like, 2 or 3 people already tell me, like, you should do this. Like, this is something that your art is, like, really good at. But the application is kind of crazy to me, because it's asking for a business name, and I'm like, do I put my online handle? Because I don't really have a business. Mailing address and other things, and it's like, okay, well, all of that is, like, normal. And then availability, and then it's like, what size booth do I need? I don't know, I've never done this before. What products do I sell? I can answer that. Product photos. I don't exactly have that yet, but, I kind of do. And then it's like booth photos, which is another like required thing. And I'm like, I don't have a booth, so it's like, do I draw it up? Do I, do I just, like, do I just put a table together and be like, it's gonna look something like this? Because I don't know, I just know that I really want to do this, and I want to be able to, like, get started, because, this is happening in, like, 6 months, and I'm like, it's 6 months. 6 months is a lot of time. But you don't want to fall into the trap of like, oh, well, I have 6 months to do it, so I'll like wait until like I really need to do it, and then all of a sudden it's a week before the convention. It's just like the college experience all over again. But yeah, that's like my thing, so I don't know for sure. You can set up a mock setup of your booth with the table and send that in as an example. 6 months is not a lot of time at all to put a table together. Exactly, like, I've never vended before, but I really want to. So it's like, I don't know. I don't even know, like, how I'm gonna arrange everything. I think it would just be, like, stickers with, like, little, like, trays and stuff. And you could just, like, pick out the ones that you like. And then for the art prints, I think, I would just have, like, a folder to keep them all in. And you can, like, look through them and be like, oh, I would like this one. I'll be like, oh yeah, it's, like, X price or something, I don't know. But yeah, I agree, 6 months is not a lot of time, because, I have to get things ready, and I'm just like, low-key, do I just ask for less hours at work? Because I really want to do this, but at the same time, it's like, I haven't even applied yet. So it's like, what do I do? I don't know. I just know that I have a lot that I need to be, like, working on right now, and I'm just like, I have a job. The job is very important. It pays $20 an hour, but this is what I want my career to be. So it's like, I don't know what I do. Do I ask for less hours at work? Do I take that small sacrifice? It's confusing, it's stressful, I'm scared. Keep stickers in sorted bags in plastic tubs behind your booth and make an example board for people are notorious for touching everything. Yeah, that makes sense. I think I would, like, stick them up on somewhere, be like, hey, this is what the stickers look like. I think the Baldur's Gate 3 ones are very cute, but I think they are in a desperate need of, like, a retouch. I might go back into those files and just kind of, like, redefine the outlines a little bit, because they do look a little bit thin from my current art, and I'm just like, it's not a hard retouch to do at the end of the day. will it be annoying? A little bit, but the rendering is already there. It's just like I'm gonna like fix a few things. Because I don't think my rendering has like... I guess I'll add rim lights to them because the rim lights look nice, but it's not like my rendering has improved like significantly outside of just like adding a little bit more shape to it. But it's mostly like the actual like structure, the line art itself that has like gotten a lot better, I think. I love the look on Kerr's face here. For as much as like I guess I refer to myself as Kyra or Kerr, I do like referring to like this specific creature here as Kerr, just because like I like that I do like that level of separation. But I do recognize in my actual Stardew file I did name myself my actual name, so I don't know. Would you guys... I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out, because I know at some point in the comic, they should probably refer to each other by, like, their actual name, but it's like, do I want that to be Kerr or Kyra? Because I could go either way, but it's like, what is my preference for this? Like, what do I feel more strongly towards? And I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know a lot of things, though, so... Not like that's anything new. The biggest thing you need to make sure is if you have a booth, to earn a booth is business cards, no matter what people can find you afterwards. Having an online presence for people to find you after a con fair will do wonders. Well, it's a good thing I have... Hang on. Do I have this? I have something. I have this, at the very least. Is it a business card? No. But when I printed my portfolio for the game store to use, because we were thinking of advertising my commissions there for anyone who had D&D characters that they wanted, like, illustrated, I figured, like, having this page right here at the beginning could work. But it can work as a stand-up sign on your booth, and that's good too. Yeah, so I think this is fine, because there's no way I'm getting this QR code. I wonder if the QR code still works. Let's see. QR code, click. Oh, it does work. Yeah, all that QR code is that, I had, like, a lot of stuff to print for my physical portfolio for the store. You may want to look at an e-commerce store too, or a way to sell online after as well. I do have a Redbubble, I just never advertise it or update it. That's, like, the one thing. But yeah, this QR code is just a link to, like, a digital portfolio, because while I wanted to, like, print everything, I didn't want to spend a lot, and it was a lot of paper. And I do plan to add more to that physical portfolio, but no one's, like, reached out to me yet at the game store, because we're having a lot of trouble, like, getting, like, a bigger, like, audience for D&D at the moment, so we're trying to, like, figure that out still. It's, like, a whole mess there, but hey, small businesses, what can you do? I love visiting the artist alley every time I go to a convention. Last one I went to were Lightbox and Game Dev. I love chatting with other artists and supporting their artwork. Well, it stresses out, though. Lamau. Real! Love you for supporting the artists, though. That's great. Yeah, can you believe I've never been to a convention before, though? I've never been to Anime Expo, I've never been to Comic-Con. The closest thing, again, was that Ren Fair that I went to last year. And, again, everyone at the Ren Fair was making, like, a big deal out of, like, oh, well, our lease expired and we have no idea if we're actually gonna get it, like, renewed or anything. And I'm like, uh-oh. But it looks like they got it renewed and they're here again this year, so I'm very excited about that. But have I ever been to, like, a con in general? No. I've never. Which is a shame, too. I think I would like to meet Neil Newbon in real life and have him, give him, like, one of my little Astarian chibi stickers, and that is kind of it. Cons are my life. Please pick my brain if you need. I will dissect you and absorb your knowledge, because it's criminal that I've never been to one, I think. Um, I think it's tragic, honestly. 'Cause I feel like I would love it like so much, but I feel like I just don't know like when they're happening. I don't know where they are, and I think they're like really expensive too, and I get concerned, and I can't really drive by myself on the freeway just yet. I've been going to cons since 2005. You're so lucky. I wish. I always see like people going to like these things, and I'm like, wow, that looks so cool. I wonder what it's like. But yeah, I've been told that like my art. I've been told that I need to sell my art at like some sort of like expo, and I'm just like, I'm gonna have to start believing these people because I've heard it like a good number of times already, and I think it is like a very like not marketable style in like a capitalism sense, but it's a very like eye-catching style for like merchandise in a sense. Oh shit. I forgot to render this arm. That's okay. It's like pretty close to like the original skin tone, so I'm not gonna beat myself up over that too much. Yeah, I'm excited. I hope I get the Ren Fair slot. If not, that's okay. I'm sure there's like more things happening, and there's still like plenty of opportunities. It's just, again, this is my New Year's resolution. I don't want to spend the whole new year. I don't want to spend the whole year getting things ready for a con. Like, I want to go to a con already, and I think I have like, I think I have a generally like good portfolio of stuff to like bring in. Like I have my mermaid print. I have my Druid Blorbos that I'm using for the Draw This in Your Style, because Lamau, I wish I had drawn up like a better graphic, but when I did that my head was hurting and I wanted the announcement to go up on Monday, which was yesterday. So it was like a whole thing. I was just at my computer for so long. Yeah, I'm like determined for it. It's just, you know, again, I don't want to like sit down and say like I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and then I never actually like do it. That sunlight is bouncing off my door, and it looks like my closet is getting incinerated. But yeah. I'm excited, I'm hopeful. I don't know if they're gonna accept me because, again, I don't entirely know if art is something that you go to like Ren fairs for. They have merchandise, but again, the merchandise is very like for cosplay or for props or for a bunch of other things, so I'm not too sure. But we'll see. I hope so. I guess another thing I could sell would be like the crystal necklaces, but I'm not very confident in that yet. At some point I know I should sell them. It's just I still don't know how to price them, and I'm still not confident in making like durable jewelry that can like be worn throughout an entire day, because I can wear it throughout the entire day, but the one guy who keeps asking me to make necklaces keeps breaking them somehow, so I don't know what he's doing. I know he plays basketball, but I guess maybe you just shouldn't really be like wearing jewelry while playing sports in general. Like maybe that was a problem on his end and everything. It's 2:23 already. Oh wow. I think I'll definitely like finish this before stream. Maybe I'll go like a few minutes over, just to see if just to see if we can like squeak it out, you know? Or I could just get good, just finish it already. Stop blabbering like an idiot. This is all the streams are. It's me yapping and me doing art, and I think it's hilarious. What area are you from, if you don't mind me asking? Do you have a lot of cons in my area? No. Pre-roll ads are on. That's okay. Yeah, I've doxed myself like twice already. So my city is called Eastvale. I'm probably gonna get yelled at from my brothers, by my brothers for saying that, but I trust you guys for the most part. Right? I don't gotta worry about getting like a bomb in a package or anything. Friendly reminder then, if you put a bomb in my mail, I have your return address. I will send one back. Anyways. Oh, Butters is barking. Oh, Butters. The area is called Eastvale. It's in, like, the Riverside Corona sort of area. Um, it's like I said, like I mentioned a lot earlier in stream, it's a very like commuter area. Like there's not a lot here. There is a farmer's market here, but a lot of the stuff they sell is more craft than it is art, if that makes sense. So there was like a woodworking table, there was a little slime table, and like the rest of it was food. Not far, not from me. I'm from San Francisco. We have a few cons, but used to have more, but they moved down to SoCal. Sounds about right. I forgot San Francisco was a little bit more north, huh? Might have been like mistaking it for Sacramento. They sound similar in my head for some reason. But yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of cons in Southern California. I recognize that. Like I think San Diego Comic-Con, for example, that's like arguably like in my area, like that is as in my area as it gets. I think I want to say Anime Expo happens in LA, but I'm not sure because I've never been. There's another one that's happening in like a city near me. I have like a website with like all the list of like conventions that are happening, and like there's some near me, there's some that aren't quite as near, and I'm just like, oh boy, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do this so I can do like the one stupid thing that I told myself I'm gonna do this year? It's not stupid, but you know what I mean. I say things are stupid all the time. Like me, I say I'm stupid, I'm stupid. But there isn't like a lot of attractions here. Maybe there might be some malls in like neighboring cities that kind of do these things, but if they do, I've never heard of it. And I tried to see, and again, I think a lot of it too is just like very like local business stuff or like local farm goods and everything, which means like the people who go there probably aren't in the market for like funny D&D stickers or anything. So my best bet at the end of the day is like fairs and conventions, not so much like the city markets here. It's just I don't know. I know when there's like a small cafe here in Eastvale that does, like they do sell art prints, but I don't know if it's like the employees' art prints or just artists going there. And I tried to see if they were hiring, because I thought, oh, you know, it might be better working there over like my one fast food job, but I don't know again. So yeah, there is technically a lot around me, it's just a little bit far out is the one thing. I forgot to render this bit of the strand, it's okay. But, yeah, so it's not that I'm opposed to going far, it's just, the other thing too, if I go far, I'm gonna have to drag one of my parents into it, because they don't allow me on the freeway. Like, yes, am I paying for my own insurance? Or yes, I am paying for my own insurance, but I also do not... I haven't been on the freeway in a little while. It is a little intimidating to me, and I think the furthest I have driven is just Cerritos out where my cousins live. And that's like an hour drive on the 91, and I hate the 91. The 91 is like the worst freeway in existence for me. But yeah, I'm still hopeful. Oh my god, wait. I still have no idea if that audio is like copyright. It's okay. I always forget how short the Monster Prom playlist is. Let's go to... I wish I had more. I need to like save... Oh, I know. Do this one because I do like this soundtrack. I think I do want to finish out the rim lights here, so we'll go a little bit over the time just because, you know, I'm almost done. Might as well finish it. Yeah. I'm hopeful. And again, I think a huge thing too is like, do I want to take time off of work to work on these pieces to get together? Um, I just, I don't know. And I'm a little, I'm just a little worried about that because it's like, I, if I had all the time in the world, I could get all of this like ready, but in 6 months, right? But I don't have all the time in the world. I have 4 days of the week where I dedicate like 8.5 hours to a fast food restaurant, where I don't really get a lot of time to draw, and I still have other responsibilities like outside of work that I have to worry about, and that's kind of my concern right now. That I'm just not gonna have a lot of time to do this. I might ask for like someone's like advice, like, hey, what's your personal opinion on like, should I take time off of work to do this? Like, should I ask them to decrease my hours so I can focus on my career, or my struggling art career a little bit more, or should I just like try and like find like different like times to work? You know, I think by the end of the year I will definitely have gone to like one con to sell art. It's just right now the closest one, the one that's like most accessible to me, potentially, even though I haven't technically applied yet. It's like I should focus on something local so it's not too difficult. So we'll see. I don't know, maybe I should take time off of work. If I remember the artist booth workshop correctly, it might be advised not to invest too much at the beginning. So a catalog of a handful of items might be fine. Yeah, that's definitely fair. That absolutely makes a lot of sense, because, you know, it's not like I'm guaranteed to like get a spot, but it's like, you know, if this is something that I want to be able to do by the end of the year, I should aim to do to at least be able to do it by the end of the year. At the same time, though, Johnny does, like, recommend, like, maybe you should just request less hours at work, and I'm like, maybe I should. But I do feel bad, because as the GM puts it, I'm one of her, like, best employees, and I do recognize they kind of need me at the store a bit. It's just, what's frustrating is that we are, like, constantly understaffed. So it's like, as a business, I don't, or as like a part-time job, I don't think I should realistically be working there as much as I do, because there should arguably be people who can like fill things out for me. Like, oh, if I can't make it, they can call in like this person, and it's not that much of a problem. But we don't have a lot of hires, we don't have a lot of like shift leaders, so everything just gets kind of pushed onto our best people, which is just, I don't know why they're having so much trouble like hiring people, and it's frustrating, because it's like, I don't want to have to work so much at this store even if the pay is really good, because it's exhausting work at the end of the day. Like, you're on your feet for like 8 hours, and like you have to talk a lot. You always have to be like doing something, because you are on the clock. It's just a whole thing. But you know, it does pay, and I'm not sure, and they do need me, and I will feel bad if I like take time off, even though I guess it's not technically like a major obligation. Like, it is a fast food restaurant. I hear you. When I was going to art school, I was up all the time. I was working in the print shop at my school, so I was still able to do some work while working on my part-time job. I've been working in the games industry for many years. I still stay up late at night to work on personal 3D products. The life of an artist. Yeah, basically. I'm trying not to stay up so late, but it's kind of hard when Johnny comes home from work and it's like, alright, it's time to play Stardew Valley again. And I'm like, yes, we're going to go back to our little farm sim, where I'm just giving people fish left and right. No, it's really just one person fish left and right. Yeah, that is what this thumbnail is for. I have to ask Johnny, like, when he's gonna want to. I bet he'd be... What is this? This is literally like the entire thing. Okay, hang on. Let me see if I can put on, like, a better playlist for this OST. Oh, this is, like, the official, like, 2-hour soundtrack. Just from the Pokemon channel. I didn't realize they did this. That's crazy, because Pokemon does not normally do this. I had no idea they released this. Man. Rare Game Freak W, honestly. The Game Freak is so strange sometimes. Like, half the time they're doing something incredible, half the time they're doing, like, the most, like, dog shit and unimaginable, and you're just there, like... Who are you people? Like, what are you guys doing in there? I do love being an artist, though. This is, like... If I could do this, like, all day as a career, I would be so happy. Actually, I'm supposed to use the watercolor brush for this. That's okay, they can't really see it. But, you know, it's not feasible to be, like, an artist, I think. Just full-time like this. You do have to have something on the side, which is unfortunate. I've just been kind of, like, hoping that someone out there will, like, find my work and be like, hey, do you want to do this for this? Like, do you want to, like, do this for the project? I'm like, yeah, sure, I'd love to. Because I don't actually know how to, like, find stuff like that, so I'm just kind of, like, hoping. I've had, like, a few things. I had, like, someone who wants to do, like, be a PNG tuber. I had them commission me for, like, a chibi version of their PNG, which was really cool. And I was really proud of it. I'm excited for when they start streaming because I want to see it in action. So, looking forward to that. I would love to work with, like, more, like, other, like, content creators. I think it'd be fun to create, YouTube thumbnails. Like, it's literally what I'm doing right now. I wish I could animate, because then, like, I could, like, do, like, little animatics out of, like, some stream moments, because there are some funny ones. There are some funny ones that I have highlighted. But I'm just not good at it. And comics just aren't as, like, flexible for, like, stream highlights for that. Like, it's a certain thing. I don't know how to describe it. I'm, like, all over the place. Let's push that back in. I love the smudge tool. I think it's called Liquify in, like, other, software, but Benny Bang calls it the smudge tool. It's so goated. And I think that's, like, mostly it. Yeah, and then I just have to wait for, like, Johnny to finish his half of the thumbnail, then we can put together, like, a little, like, cute background so it's actually, like, a full thumbnail. Because, you know, he's part of the playthrough, too. Yes, if it's your passion, go for it. I've seen many artists in your same situation that have become successful. You have a lot of potential. Keep up the grind and enough people will find your work soon enough. Yeah, exactly. There was the... Oh, I completely forgot to add the rims on the horn here. Oh my god. I'm stupid. I'm stupid. It's a good thing I zoomed out. I wouldn't have seen that otherwise. Yeah. We might move the next Stardew stream to Thursday, just because Johnny will be off. He won't be coming home at like 12:30 in the morning for once, and then we'll go from there. make this more even with the other side. Something something symmetracy something something. There was an artist that I started following recently. She has her comms open, like I think she just opened them not too long ago. And it's really sad when artists kind of like realize like, oh, it's just really hard to sell like art commissions. Cause I think something that's like really deceptive is like some artists, they post like every day like, oh, here's a commission work for so and so, and here's another thing that I'm gonna commission work for another person, and it's like it really looks like they get a lot, and I'm sure they are getting a lot. Like, I would hope that they're not lying about their commissions, because it's kind of like I find it deceptive. I think it's like way better to just be honest on when it comes to these kinds of things, which is why I never like I always like make it very explicitly clear, like this is a commission, this is like a real actual commission for so and so. But, you know, I still trust them. Point being though, it's really hard to see like a lot of like really popular artists get like a lot of commissions. I think because it's like oh, their art must just be so much better than mine, or people don't like my art style. It can like that whole like mindset can like snowball into a whole like thing, which is unfortunate. And I think so I was telling this artist like, no, it's just really hard to sell art right now. I got really lucky in 2024 when I looked through my art album. I think I sold like 7 pieces or so, which is a lot to me considering I wasn't getting anything before. So it does happen. You just kind of have to keep promoting yourself. You just kind of have to keep posting art. You just kind of have to keep like being on like that content creator grind set, which sucks because it's not like the content creator grind set is like great. It's definitely a lot of work. It's gonna take a lot of time out of your day to just like be able to like keep pushing things out there. But I think if you can make it work, you'll eventually find like a workflow that you're happy in, and you do eventually find success. And I hope I hope they do start getting commissions, because it does suck to like be ready to put yourself out there, and then like you don't get like a lot of like it's a lot to put yourself out there. Let me put it this way: it's a tough thing to do for a lot of people. So sometimes it is a little bit of a downer when it's not happening or anything. And I'm unbelievably grateful for every single person who's like commissioned me, because it's like, I can't believe you like my art that so much that you buy it. I really do wish them all the best. I am hoping that they will. Let me actually show off the artist real quick. That would be the smart thing to do, and then I think we'll end the stream because I have gone a bit over time, and this piece here is more or less done on my end. I just gotta wait for Johnny to do the background stuff. It's this person, her? Yeah, her. This art style is so cute. Like look at that. It's so soft, it's so pretty. I love that it really like looks like watercolor and then like colored pencil together. Maybe a tab, where is it? Like it's so cute. I really do hope they get commissions in, because this is adorable. This is wonderful. They absolutely deserve like all the love and support. Like, look at this. Yeah, if you're not following her already, absolutely go follow her. Go send any support, boost this comm page, because she is trying to get her VGen working. It's adorable. This is an art style I can absolutely get behind. Like, it's so anime-esque, but like the coloring is so like it really is reminiscent of like watercolor and like a combination of watercolor and colored pencils to me. So I think we'll probably end the stream there. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Next stream is gonna be Thursday, 10 p.m. PST. I don't know what we'll be doing then.
But yeah, stream as usual. The Draw This in Your Style is pinned to the top of the page on my socials. Definitely like looking forward to seeing what you guys put up there, and if I think I need a due date extension, I will absolutely extend the due date by like another week or however as long as people need. I absolutely loved hanging out with everyone. I love rambling, I love ranting, I love yapping. It's been a wonderful time. Hope to see you guys Thursday, and we are off. Bye bye.